Let's do it. And we probably I'm pulling up the show notes real quick.
It's past Luke's bedtime. How dare we? Luke apparently goes to bed at 7:30 at night.
We probably don't need to do too long of a Patreon intro since how late it is, you know.
Yeah, but thanks to all the people on Patreon watching us, as always, it means a lot to us that you do that.
Very much so. Thanks everybody for joining this late. Yeah, it might work out better for some people. Because what if we have some West Coasters that can't ever?
We could probably get more West Coasters, and assuming I don't know, I would have to go and look and see who's on the 1138 tier, who like where they live, like what's the most optimum time zone. For assuming everybody. You know that we're gaining an hour on Sunday, and I'm just saying that to remind myself. It has nothing to do with this. I forgot about that. You're welcome. So of all the ones to forget, though, it's the good one to forget because like nothing happens. Basically, you just arrive places an hour earlier than you should.
So for the show tonight, I feel like we have to use the word agnostic as many.
Agnostic. Yeah.
We have to use it as many agnostic times as we can. Possibly
I will agnostically use it. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know like what the word means. Like it seems like such a
sure. Actually, I do know. So agnostic? The root of agnostic is nost, Gnost, which is knowledge. So nost, the prefix a means none, like none or no, or without. So it's without knowledge, basically. Like you don't have knowledge of something, or can't have knowledge is how some people.
So here's the definition. I looked up the definition, and it gets kind of oddly religious for some reason.
That's because most people use it in a religious term.
Oh, okay. So a person who believes that nothing is known or can be known of the existence or nature of God or of anything beyond a material phenomena. A person who claims neither faith nor disbelief in God. So why the fuck are they using this word in a Star Wars toy?
Honestly, what the fuck? It was a weird phrase.
That's so stupid.
It was a weird phrase for sure. Let's see. Obviously, we said hi to Lance Peter Luke. Wilbon was asleep before we even started. Gave a little sleep emoji. Ethan is in the chat. Rob Henry just showed up. What's up, my dude? We got a show for you guys specifically.
A big show. I did not expect the show to be this big.
You know, it's funny because we're like, should we just wait? It's just 10:27. No one really cares. And then suddenly it's like, no, it's not just 10:27. It's the first Gift the Galaxy. It's also the London Comic-Con. It's just the news that kept coming and it didn't stop coming.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. If I can pull anything back to Smash Mouth, I will.
R.I.P. the singer, though.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. No, for sure. Here's the thing. I unironically I won't say love, but I like Smash Mouth, and I know more than like 2 of their songs. I had whatever the album that All Star was on. I can't remember the name of it right now. Like I had that album, I had that CD, and some of my favorite songs are like not even the big songs. We're starting at 10:27 for 10:27. Yes, we had this planned the whole time. That was the reasoning.
Mike told my dog to flare his ear infection up, and
have you ever thought about just getting your dog's ear removed? Just give him robot ears.
You know what? Let's do the pit bull thing where they cut it off.
Yeah,
just a little.
You can't get ear infections if he doesn't have ears.
I'll bring that up to the wife and see what she says.
Yes, see what
His
she
ears
says.
Are too floppy and cute.
Also, don't tell her it was my idea. Tell her it was Nate's idea.
Okay, I'll do my best.
Yeah,
I hope I'm gonna put this slide up. I hope it's an updated version with. I put Paz on there. I think that's it. That should be it.
You put your Paz on there.
You put your repack there.
Oh God.
Bro,
I've got so many thoughts, and I have specifically not as much as I can publicly given my thoughts so that they're fresh.
Well, this is the best way to do that.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Save
here.
them.
That's the only.
Are
reason
they in the group chat though? Do I know your thoughts?
There might be. Yeah, you probably do. It's not surprising. It's not surprising.
True.
Yeah. That was actually my question, Zach. Do you have any money riding on tomorrow's game?
So sports gambling has been going amazing this last week and a half or so. I've been absolutely on fire. Like I put $20 in my account 2 weeks ago, and I have 172 in there, which is going to pay for everything that just hit my card, because Entertainment Alerts has been like kicking my ass lately. But on top of those, on top of those AliExpress clones that I bought, the Wolf Pack. So that's been. But last night I had an 18-leg NBA parlay. I hit 17 legs, and then Jamal Murray scored 14 points. He needed 15, so I missed out on like $60 for 1 point. But no bet on tonight's game because the two teams kind of suck. I didn't really like anything I put together. But I do got a college football parlay this weekend. So yeah, that's the update. But I got cash in there. I've been on fire lately.
You are up. You're not down. You're up.
That is correct. I mean, most of the money I actually use, it's whenever they give me those like $5 bonus bets, or they'll do like a deposit match. So I'll put in 100, and then I'll get like 100, and then I'll just pull my 100 out, and then I'll just use their 100 to bet. So
do they really do that?
Yeah, like every other week they'll do like deposit. They'll do like 50% deposit match, or they'll do 100% deposit match. They do all these different kind of offers, and
that seems illegal. Not it seems stupid. It's not illegal, but like they're like, hey, if you give us $100, we'll give you $100. And you're like, sure, thanks. And then you just take it back.
What they do is they pull you in, and then they want you to get addicted to it, because eventually you're going to spend and lose all the money.
So it's like the first one's free kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like they're always trying to like drugs. That's why if you go 4 days without betting, they give you like, $200 deposit bonus, like like all these things. Yeah, they know what they're doing. They play on addictions. I'm doing my best not to get addicted, but
you need that dopamine fix, man.
Yeah, but
chase that dragon.
I've been sticking to like $5 a day on NBA parlays, and they've been going pretty well. So,
I'm happy for you.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
But so, when I was at work the other day, and I was just kind of randomly, I had an epiphany about our Patreon intro, because you know how we've tried to like say maybe we should do Patreon intros, like, and talk about a specific topic, and then we do that for like 2 episodes, and then we kind of like fall away from it.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there and I was like, what if during the Patreon intro we talked about other toy lines that aren't Black Series, but we want to talk about, but we don't necessarily want to talk about on the main show.
Oh.
And I was like, that kind of seems like it's been sitting in our face the whole time. I didn't really.
I mean, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, it's definitely not the worst one we've come up with.
Yeah, I could start if you want.
What other toy line?
Well, so it's just very relevant because it just ended. There was a Kickstarter for the Cyberzoic line, which is like dinosaurs with weapons on them and stuff. It had a goal of $205,000. It ended at $609,470. So it was like over 300%.
Oh yeah,
the goal, which is pretty good. I wanted so many things from this, and I only got one. I told myself one thing, and it's tough.
I thought you were going to get the full lineup.
God, no! I want the full lineup so bad. There's so many cool looking things, and they added a bunch because they initially just had like a saber-tooth tiger and like some kind of raptor thing, and then a dragon. But then they added like a Dilophosaurus and a Tyrannosaurus, and it's another dragon, but the dragon's got like butterfly wings, which is pretty cool. Yeah, as much as I want all of them, I just don't have space. I don't have money, obviously, but I wanted something. So I just ended up getting, they had a Kickstarter exclusive, like one Kickstarter exclusive saber-toothed tiger repaint it's painted to look like the original Dino Riders toy line with like everything silver and red like it was. So I did that just because everything else is gonna like get released on Big Bad Toy Store eventually and stuff next year. And it's gonna be more expensive, but if I want something else, like that's next year's problem. Whereas this one thing can only get on here. So I was like, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm going. That's how I'm doing.
It's probably it's probably the best way to do it. I was gonna ask you a question. Is there a G.I. Joe or Mythic Legions that comes with a tiger? Just like a regular plain ass tiger?
No. There's not.
What about a lion?
I can't think of any. There's the closest I could think of. Obviously, you've got like Snake Eyes comes with a wolf because he has a wolf pet. There's an action figure that Hasbro makes. It's a Dungeons and Dragons action figure of a guy called Drizzt, and he comes with like a panther action figure named Guinevere or Gwyn something like that. But that's the only thing I can think of that's like a lion or a tiger.
Okay, because I feel like I want to get a Craven action figure, and I feel like I need a tiger or a lion to go with him. You know,
I see. Yeah.
So, but also, have you finished Spider-Man? I know we won't talk about we won't talk about spoilers right now.
100%.
But
I 100%ed it, and then I've only got 2 trophies left to get platinum.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I finished the main story. I still have some of the side stuff to do. And then I want to unlock all the suits. That's kind of my goal. I 100% of the first game. I don't know if I'll 100% this one, like try to get all the trophies and all that. But I'm definitely going to finish all the side story at least. And then whatever DLC comes out, because I absolutely loved that first one. Miles Morales game was like good. If Miles Morales felt like DLC, but with like really great graphics.
Sure.
Like, I felt like the story was really fast for some reason. I don't know if I just flew through it, but this game, it's like, it's unbelievable. Like, I've been having so much fun with it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people complain. They're like, "Oh, it's Spider-Man 1.5," and I'm like, "Well, what do you expect? It's the same guy in the same place. Like New York City doesn't change. Spider-Man doesn't change."
But it is bigger. The map is bigger.
Sure. No, the map is bigger. There's more. And I feel like, a lot of the stuff, like the game is 100% better. But people are just complaining that it's not different enough. But like, how different do you want it to be? A completely different kind of game? Do you want like a Souls-like game? Like what? How different could it possibly be?
I feel like they did as good as a job as they could.
I agree.
Whenever you play a game like that, the fighting mechanics get repetitive after a while because you're basically doing but I feel like they did enough different with what the type of stuff you can do and the gadgets and all the abilities you unlock over
the gadget thing they did this time is perfect. Like being able to do gadgets in the middle. Yeah.
I felt like in the first game the gadgets were way overpowered because I did the spider bot and it's just another bot that like fights the people with you. So I would just hit that every time. But I feel like the abilities in this game, specifically the ones you get near the end of the story,
I will say, yeah, for sure. No, for sure. I will say, and it's kind of a spoiler, but like everyone knows he's in the game. There is a bit where you get to play as Venom, and I want a whole game of that.
Oh like,
I just want that to be a game.
Yeah. So I realized there's a Venom that came in a 2-pack with Null, I think, recently.
He was on sale for like $40 recently.
Yeah. That's like the exact same Venom in the game. I'm kind of thinking about picking it up. Yeah. Because he has the wings and everything.
Yeah. He does get the wings. Yeah, it's true.
And like they have a similar spider and they have like where the chest is located. And then I gotta admit, I did It'll be on Fine Editions probably next episode. But when I ordered that 2-pack, the Mace and the 187th Trooper, I did order the Spider-Man 2 because I'm in the mood, and they got me.
You're in the Spider-Man mood.
I bitched about it on this show. I got to eat my words. I bitched about the price on this podcast. Well, we're not on the podcast yet, but on Black Series Cantina, I bitched about the price and said I wouldn't buy it.
And here you are.
They got me.
Buying Spider-Man.
But to be fair, fear of missing out, the great FOMO got me, because I was looking at secondary market prices and they're already creeping in the low 40s, and I saw it was in stock on Hasbro Pulse. So I combined that order with the Mace and 187th and got free shipping on both. So I got it for $37 after tax. So I'll take it. I'll take it.
You want to talk FOMO in other lines for a second? I was literally inches away at the end of the Giant Man HasLab of throwing $200 down on one.
Really?
I just
that'd have been awesome.
I'm like,
you could have named him Rancor.
I know.
You could have named him Rancor.
But there were so many reasons not
What's
to.
up, Luke?
Like it literally is. I felt like I was missing out because it was funded. People are gonna get it, but like I don't collect Marvel Legends. I don't have any Avengers.
Yeah.
So there's like no collection for it to go in. It would just be me buying it because it's a thing that can be bought, and other people are buying it. And I know a year from now, when people are getting it or whatever, I'm gonna be like, man, I could have gotten that. But like I don't care. Like I do.
Yeah, if you don't really care about the product, then it's probably best just to put the $200 towards.
Well, that's kind of how I justified getting the saber-toothed tiger, so which was less, which was not as much money objectively. So, hi, Lance Peter Luke, how are you doing today? You know what? While we're doing this in this little, if you guys haven't listened to it yet, Frederick was just on. Friend of the show, Ken Plume, and it was a great talk. I had it on when I was making dinner one night, and I'm like, this is great. Like I wanted to be in the room talking to them. Like I wanted to add things in there that they were saying, because it was a good conversation. So if you haven't heard it, I recommend going to Ken's channel. It's a proper Force 5, which I've done. Zach, did you do a Force 5 or just do an unboxing one?
I think I did an unboxing, like an open chat type thing. Yeah. He told me he'd invite me back for a Force 5, but I haven't gotten the message yet. So.
Yeah. So he sent me a message the other day because every week I make older episodes public on our YouTube channel, but that includes like the Patreon preamble stuff, because I'm like, it's over a year old. Like I figured just put it on there. Who cares? And he sent me a message. He's like, I just got to the episode that you made public where you lovingly make fun of my channel and going on and I'm like, I don't remember what I said, but oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I honestly, I have no idea what I said. I didn't even go back and listen. I just was like, let's just kind of ignore it, because I didn't know him at the time. Like when he first invited me on, like I didn't know who he was. He's just some guy that's inviting me on his channel. But Ken, if for some reason you're listening to this now, I'm so glad that we're friends.
He'll probably see this part a
year from now. Yeah. So it's just
we need to get Frederick on. That's kind of what I was leaning towards. Yeah.
100%. Frederick needs to be a person,
and I think we have a connection in the chat that might be able to.
Which is one of the things that Well, I mean, I could talk to Frederick. I mean, I don't need Luke to talk to Frederick. I can message Frederick too. Like we're friends on social media. I haven't ever yet.
Yeah, but it's cooler if we say we have a guy that's going to talk to a guy.
That's true. Well, it's kind of like, so, I mean, this is just for Patreon people right now. And a year from now, when everyone else is hearing it, I don't know if it'll come to fruition, but we're trying to get Paul Lee on our show. I was on a show, someone else's show. He was in the audience, the guy that plays Carson Teva, and Uncle Iroh from the upcoming Last Airbender Netflix show, and then also he was Appa in Kim's Convenience. Anyways, so like I have a connection to him. I publicly asked him to be on the show when I was on that show, and he was in the audience, and he said, okay. I've sent him 2 messages on Instagram, and he's hearted one of them, but he never responded. But I know Ken Plume is friends with him as well. Like he's been on his show.
Okay.
So I feel like we could get him on the show.
It's the perfect time because the helmet just dropped. It'd be a great time to talk to him.
And he is a toy collector. That's kind of what he has a YouTube channel, Bitter Asian Dude. And he unboxes hot toys. I think he got out of Black Series, but I won't hold that against him. Like he is a toy collector.
I mean, once you start getting that Lucasfilm money, I'd probably be all in on hot toys too. You know what I mean?
Honestly. Speaking of which, my Darth Vader keeps getting. I got the email today that it's been pushed back. To,
oh really? I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, mine's like it's like your final payment got pushed back to December 5th, and I'm like, fine, I guess, because mine's on the 5th of every month.
Well, I haven't gotten an email, so I'll be holding my new Vader. Probably it's still supposed to ship next year.
It's supposed to ship this year. Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm crossing my fingers for December. Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to get it in December. That and I'm also gonna get the His tank probably in December, and also the Transformers HasLab Death Saurus, because I got emails yesterday for both of those that it's like the make sure your address is updated because we're gonna send these out soon, and the date to have it updated by was like November 24th. So I've got some big stuff coming.
Oh yeah,
and the toys start coming and they don't stop coming.
There you go.
I'm just gonna keep that going. Should we get into the actual episode? We got
so we opened this Patreon intro saying let's not make it a long one because I have to wake up early, and then it's the longest one we've ever done.
It's the longest one. You're welcome, Patreon people.
And real quick before we start the actual podcast, this was not planned. This is not a paid ad.
This literally.
We got on here and we're like, no fucking way. we cannot wear the same shirt.
Meme where we was kind of pointing at each other.
We were like, no way. So, but shout out to our boys, I guess, because this was. But anyways, so
for the people, I don't know if it's gonna be in the audio, probably not. But this episode is not brought to you by Out of the Basement. They're not paying us shit.
They are Patreon member technically.
They are. That's true, actually. So they are paying us. But I think we're also. I'm a YouTube member, a channel member of theirs.
Yeah, I'm a channel member, but I'm like the battalion member, so I get to watch their stuff on Wednesdays. I'm
the basic because honestly, I don't watch any of their videos. I just don't. I watch the ones that I'm on when I'm on them.
As a battalion member, I'm still not used to being able to watch their stuff on Wednesdays. I honestly don't like it. I like seeing it early because I've done it sometimes when I see it like just dropped. But I kind of like watching it on like Friday at work or something.
Yeah.
Or like Saturday afternoon or something when I'm hanging out. So
Anyway, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. I watch your stuff. So let's get into the episode with episode. We're on 58.
58 episodes.
Episode 58, and this is
here we go.
Entertainment agnostic podcasting, and we'll get into why it's called that. If you look at this episode and you're like, what are they on? What are they talking about? Are we getting religious here? The answer is no. But it's just marketing's gonna market. Patrick's gonna Patrick. Star Wars is gonna Star Wars.
Yeah, we're gonna agnostically talk about the word agnostic and how it relates to toys and Star Wars figures when you're supposed to be like exciting and like you're revealing product, like, oh, look at this cool action figure. But we're going to talk about this agnostic these agnostic figures and
it was packaging.
Why?
It was entertainment agnostic packaging, and we'll get to it when we get to it. I don't want to jump ahead, but when I heard that phrase, I was like, I know what our next podcast episode is going to be called. But anyways, thank you for listening. I am your co-host, Mike, and with me, as always, is Zach from the other side of the country. We are coming at you. We went back and forth last episode, which was 2 weeks ago. We knew there was going to be an announcement on the 27th, which was a week later. And we're like, do we want to do another episode a week later, or do we want to wait and just cover it 2 weeks? Because it was just 10/27. It was just one thing that, like, who cares? We'll just get to it a week late. People will still want to hear what we're saying.
Or so we thought.
That's what we thought. That's what we thought.
Little did we know they were going to drop bombs before and after.
Oh, yeah, we got a sandwich. 10/27 was just the middle of the sandwich. We got
and
so
it was
much stuff.
and it was so random. Especially the first wave of drops.
Yeah,
was so random.
Yeah, but before we get into that stuff, obviously we're going to stick to our normal kind of layout that we do here for Black Series, starting with Patreon. We have people watching us right now because they subscribe to a Patreon tier where they can watch us live as we record our podcasts. But then we also have people that physically watch us with their eyeballs later, like the day after, where they can see us talk to each other with their eyeballs. And that's supporting us on Patreon. If that sounds like fun to you, I recommend doing it, because there are a lot of things that we do and talk about that you find listening to it, but it's even better when you see it.
Yeah, when you can see the figures that we're talking about when we're putting them to the camera. And I've been putting together these great slideshows so you can look at everything we're talking about at the same time.
Yeah.
But to you people that do not support us on Patreon and you're listening to audio podcasts, that's still, like, we very much appreciate.
We love you still.
And
Thank
if
you.
you can't support us financially, please find a way to leave a review, like on Apple Music or Spotify or wherever. Leave a review. We would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, but we don't advertise on here. It's just the only way we get any kind of recompense for our time and resources for doing this podcast is Patreon supporters, and we love them dearly. Right now we got 6 people watching us, and sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. We're doing a little later tonight because Zach had some things happen today. Yeah,
the dog had to get a damn ear infection,
But the dog's
stupid
okay.
Mutt, stupid mutt,
Stupid mutt. Hey, don't be mean to Doggo. Doggo couldn't.
That's true.
He couldn't help it, but
I kind of like doing it this way. Like, I don't have to go to work tomorrow morning, but I do have to wake up early, but I don't have to go to work. So, and it's probably better for you because you're not going to be starving through the entire.
Oh no, yeah, I already had
episode.
dinner. Usually record. It's like 9:00 my time, and I'm like, I'm so hungry right now.
Yeah. So normally this is how it goes: where we finish the podcast, and then Mike's like, all right, I'm going to hop off. I'm really, really hungry. My wife just got done making dinner. We just ordered something. Something got delivered. And then we start talking about something. And then 10 minutes goes by.
Yep.
And then he's like, I'm starving. I'm just leaving right now. I'm like, all right, I'll see you. That's typically how it goes. But since you got a belly full, I got a belly full, I'm ready to talk Black Series. And I want to start this episode. I kind of want to rant just a little bit.
Listen, everyone buckle up. We're in for a good Zach rant here. I'm going to turn off my microphone. I want you have the floor, my friend. Have at it.
Well, it's not going to be a top tier rant. It's going to be like a mid. So don't get your.
Then never mind. I'm not turning off my microphone.
Yeah, I need your feedback.
Right.
I need you to agree with me.
You only have part of the floor then.
Yeah. So I was in some Instagram comment debates. I'm not going to say like with who or anything, but there's a couple out there that I consistently debate with. But I just want to go over this thing whenever people say balance the scales. And it's typically coming from the vintage collection collectors, and they've, everybody knows they've, taken over the phrase balance the scales over the last couple of years. What does balance the scales truly mean? Because TVC collectors seem to think that for every figure, they should get the same figure. And that sounds true. Like if you were to tell somebody,
sounds fair on a surface level.
If you were to tell somebody we have 2 lines, that line gets an Ahsoka, that line doesn't. Like that doesn't sound fair. This line gets everything from new. Wilbon, don't make me laugh in the middle of my rants, okay? In the chat. But like that sounds like it wouldn't be fair if this stuff gets new media, this stuff doesn't. But if you really think about balance, what does that mean? If each line has a certain amount of like allotted melted plastic, like heated up, and it's in this big old pot, and you have 2 gallons of plastic here and 2 gallons on this side. Well, if this side gets nothing but figures, right? Because that's their larger figures, 6-inch figures. You can't really get, big ships and big dioramas with the 6-inch line.
We're not getting the Ghost at a 6-inch scale.
Exactly. But
we're not getting Boba Fett's the Jabba's palace at the 6-inch scale.
Exactly. So on the other side, you have this melted plastic. It's all the same amount. You have 2 gallons or whatever on each side. This side, if you have, 40% of it going towards ships, TVC sets, HasLab TVC sets, you have these big dioramas that are like Pulse exclusives. And every time I go to, Walmart the last couple of years, you see that giant Boba Fett's starship, sitting up there on the top shelf and everything. So if you have 40% taken up of big stuff that we can't get, that leaves like 60%. Of course, you're not going to get some figures that we get on this side. But certain people seem to think that no matter what, they should get the same exact figures the same time Black Series does. But then that's not really balanced. And then also all of that. But wouldn't that be so? If you're saying balance the scales,
that wouldn't be equal.
That means
balanced at all. Yeah,
we should get more in Black Series, like far as sets and chips. So
and it's also, and I don't care what anyone says. Like if you collect 3 3/4-inch scales, you have figures in that scale that go all the way back to 1978. Do they all have the same aesthetic and style? No. You got the vintage looking ones from the 70s and 80s. You got the roided out ones from the mid 90s or whatever. But you go a little bit past that, and in the 2010s or so, and what they were releasing then sometimes still gets re-released today, repacked today, maybe with updated face printing and stuff. But those are the same figures they're still using. You've got hundreds. No, not hundreds. You've got thousands of figures and play sets to choose from that you can go track down, that you can go collect.
Yep.
6-inch line has existed for 10 years now. We have, I don't know what the final count is right now. I'm going to guess somewhere around 1,000, maybe slightly sub 1,000. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, rough estimate. Yeah.
But it's nowhere near the same. We're still missing tons of figures, just basic original trilogy figures that have been in the 3 3/4-inch line for years.
It took them 10 years to do a simple hammerhead, and it wasn't even the one everybody wanted.
Yeah,
I know we're getting that, but still, it wasn't the first one they did.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I don't begrudge people. Like, sure, I might make a stink when they release something for TVC I want in TBS. Like I'll be like, man, I wouldn't mind that for the TBS. Or it sucks that the TVC one looks so much better than the TBS one. But I'm not mad. I'm not mad that it exists. I'm happy for those people that they're getting something cool. But the opposite isn't true. What they do is, I can't believe TBS even exists. I hate it. It's a garbage line, and the people that collect it are garbage as well. I'm like chill out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just chill out a little bit.
It's pretty wild. But the one that'll get me, I just thought about this. I don't know why this is the first time this popped in my head. Could you imagine if TVC gets like 100% newly sculpted Anakin one day? I would I'm not even lying.
Would you
I
buy
would
it?
drop.
You'd buy it.
I would drop to my knees, and I would, I don't even want to say it because it's. I'll tell you after the show, I guess. But
That's fair.
I just don't want to say it on a podcast. But yeah. So,
well,
I would literally drop to my knees and die. Like,
do you want to keep drama going?
Yeah, go ahead.
We had kind of a dramatic week. Now that I think about it, this isn't in the notes, but in the Out of the Basement Discord, which you have, if you guys are part of that, you know what I'm talking about. And if you're not, you should go check it out sometime. It was a wild ride. I'm just gonna preface this by saying, when in the Black Series, when someone says a figure is mainline, and this isn't my definition, this is the definition that sometime maybe a year or two ago, when they started doing live streams, they explained what they mean when they say mainline, when they say fan channel, and all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is their definition. But mainline are like the main waves that are being released. So
it's the mass produced
correct
items.
They're produced in different quantities. They're available everywhere. Basically, there's no limit to who can have them or sell them or whatever. So, for instance, there's been 2 mainline Ahsoka waves. One with Ahsoka and Sabine and Ezra, and that was a mainline wave. And then the sequel to that had Hu Yang and Merrick and who else was in that? It doesn't matter. But then now we're getting the wave with Ahsoka and the Clone Trooper, and it's got the mainline releases of Wicket and the Jabba's Palace, Chewbacca. So like those are mainline waves. Those are numbered waves. Wave number 38, 39, or whatever. That's the main line. There was one gentleman in the Discord.
It's absurd that you even have to talk about this.
I'm doing it because I just was flabbergasted by this. And I hope he's listening, because he messed up so bad. Yak Face came in and was clowning on him for just doubling down. He thinks that anything that's on a mural and is numbered is part of the main line, which includes things that are exclusive to specific stores like Target or Fan Channel. And it was just bonkers.
Absurd. Yeah.
Absolutely bonkers, to the point where he created a phrase, mainline exclusive, which are 2 diametrically opposed words. It's like saying, oh, it's a square circle. Like, it could be one or the other. It cannot be both things. If it's mainline, it's not exclusive. If it's exclusive, it's not mainline. There's no overlapping on that Venn diagram.
It is not. Yeah. And from Hasbro, like the horse's mouth themselves, they literally will explicitly say, this is mainline 2024.
Yeah.
This is a fan channel exclusive. This will be a Target exclusive pre-order in the spring of 2024. Like they will explicitly say exclusive or mainline. When you hear Patrick say mainline, that means it will be everywhere.
And this is good for maybe the people listening that don't know. So, we've got things like they'll hear pipeline. And pipeline means that it's a figure that's been announced, which we'll talk about tonight. There were some pipeline reveals where we haven't seen the figure itself, but we know that this figure is coming. We just don't know what it looks like or anything. We just know that it's a figure coming down the line.
What was the figure that I saw you comment on Facebook?
Oh,
you were having a back and forth with pipeline.
I was leading into that.
They were like, no, I've seen pictures or something.
It was Kiadi Mundi, because I don't know if you put this on here. Is that something that's happened in the last 2 weeks? I think it is.
What?
The Kiadi Mundi kind of reveal where it was like a leak, like not a leak, because we've seen pictures of him. When they announced him, they showed pictures of him. They just didn't put him up for pre-order. So we never saw a box figure.
Did we talk about him last episode?
I don't know if we did or not, honestly.
The in-hand shot of it?
I don't know.
Because I know I don't have it on this one, but I could
go back and look at the notes from 57. But
okay,
but
so
that's
I posted that picture before. We had to have talked about it because I posted that picture a couple days before I posted the advertisement for our most recent podcast.
Well,
I think we did talk about it, but
even if we did talk about it, that's not really important. What's important is someone said something to the effect of, "Oh yeah, Ki-Adi-Mundi's pipelined." I'm like, and I responded with, "Oh no, he's more than pipelined. He's like announced. They showed pictures of him because a pipeline announcement is specifically just like a name and like a screen grab from whatever medium entertainment property that they're
entertainment
from.
agnostic property."
Where we don't actually see the figure, but in this case with Ki-Adi-Mundi, we saw the figure. We've seen him. We just hadn't seen him in package. We didn't know what movie he was from, but we saw the actual figure. So that's not a pipeline release. That's like an actual. This is an actual announcement, and that was my response. And then that guy came back at me with just a bunch of really weird, like he used like emojis, like he's a 15-year-old girl. It
was getting a little.
He tried clowning on me a little bit, and I'm like, everything you just said, just like you're showing me a picture of it, as if that proved his point, but it kind of proved my point. And when I came back with him at that, it turns out he was a mod or an admin, and he suspended me from that Facebook group for like 3 days. And you know what?
Yeah, put in Facebook jail.
I just left the group. I don't need to be part of that group. I don't need to be part of someone whose ego is so fragile that when they get told they're wrong, their response is to remove, like to not, he didn't remove me. I removed myself, but he suspended me from the group so I couldn't respond or anything, which is just bonkers. It's nonsense.
Yeah. It's gonna be funny when that dude listens to this episode and he's like, "Oh, I hope that was Mike."
I hope he does. That guy is a clown, and I'm not even sorry about that. I'm glad I'm not part of that group because honestly, the group was pretty toxic. It's got the same name as a different Facebook group, and I always confuse them anyway. Mm-hmm. One group's pretty good, the other group is pretty toxic. They both have the same thing. It's the admins that are the difference. And so I'm actually glad to be out of that group.
So what's the best Facebook Black Series group people should join?
Oh, that's 100% Black Series Cantina.
Oh, we have a Facebook group that people should join.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody go join Facebook
Black Series
cool Cantina
there.
group.
For sure.
It's a very chill, like we have great conversations in there. Nobody's I haven't seen one toxic person in there like the entire time we've had it.
I think we've had maybe 2 or 3 things reported when people are getting a little rambunctious, but it usually works itself out pretty well.
Emotions are running hot. These are like, this is a big deals. These are Star Wars action figures. These are everybody's, emotions all fired up. Whenever TVC's getting extra accessories and Count Dooku lightning hands,
But the thing is, I left the group. And why is TVC getting Count Dooku lightning hands?
Exactly.
What the hell?
That's what I'm saying.
It's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not worth getting angry about. But that was a fun little. There was a little. We don't do a lot of drama.
A
little drama tangent. But I think it's time for some fine additions. Do you want to talk about fine additions? I got some fine additions.
Yeah, let's talk about our agnostic fine additions.
Agnostic additions.
Agnostic. So I guess I'll start real quick because I don't have a ton. I got 4 figures. So I picked up a second R2-D2. I saw it at a local comic shop, 15% off, so I had to grab it. Because I was going to get a second one anyways. I just wasn't in a rush to, so I never pre-ordered it. So now I can't decide, do I print the Lane Speeder Luke drink tray or do I put this one on a prequel shelf?
Drink tray.
I guess we'll just have to see. I don't have gold filament. I guess I could do it in white and then paint it with gold. And then I picked up Ezra Bridger, or I didn't pick it up. I got it shipped to me. But finally got Ezra from technically season 4 / Ahsoka. So there's that. And Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi Legend got delivered today, which is very exciting. I remember whenever this one was dropped, we were so hyped because as soon as we saw that episode, we came on this podcast and said, that's what we want. Like that.
Yep. And that's what we got.
And the Vader. Like the Vader with the cracked helmet. And then I don't think we called it Jedi Legend Obi-Wan, but we said comic book, look that they did at the end. Yeah, the mythos. And he comes with the toy.
He does. That's what I wanted. I
want every Black Series figure should come with a toy. Like I want my toys to have toys from here.
I 100% agree.
This is crazy.
100% agree.
Like now that I think about it, why didn't the Death Troopers in Rogue One come with the little Stormtrooper toy? You know what I mean? That would have been perfect.
All of them should have. Absolutely.
So there's that. I hope everybody hears just me dropping these boxes because packaging doesn't matter. That's why we should go back to PFP so we don't get warped lightsabers. Anyways, end rant. I also got the new Ahsoka Tano Clone Wars figure.
So jealous of that one right there.
I am in love with this Ahsoka because it is fabulous. But it's so tiny. Like, it's so tiny for a 6-inch figure. But it's awesome. Like, the proportions are good. The face sculpt is amazing. Like, it just looks like it's straight out of the cartoon, but kind of realistic at the same time. Oh, yeah, I should probably be big here. It looks animated and real at the same time. They did a really good job with that.
For sure.
Yeah, the 2 lightsabers. But one frustration with this, and it's like we always say, Black Series is like one, usually they're like one accessory or lack thereof thing from being a perfect figure. The left hand is like a 4C type hand.
Mm-hmm.
And it like her sabers are so small. It like you have
the
to
same
really...
thing with Starkiller.
Yeah.
On that left hand where it's like he's trying to use the force at the same time as he's trying to hold his lightsaber, which is something they do. Like I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it does make the lightsaber want to fall out.
An alt left hand, like a swappable left hand, would fix that issue, and it wouldn't be that much more plastic.
For sure.
And so you really have to like the hook or the little plug that goes into her belt to hold.
Mm-hmm.
You have to like wedge that in between her middle and index finger to get it to hold in there nice. So it still works. Like it's still good, and it is cool that she has the 2 holes on her belt if you want to hang her hilts up that way. But yeah, really excellent figure. I don't know if it'll make top 10 of the year, but it is like an excellent looking action figure, and I really do enjoy it. So I'll hand you the Agnostic Fine Edition baton.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. So I've got a lot. Starting, I got
when do you not have a lot though?
I know it's a problem.
He's made of money, people.
I'm not made of money, but I'm just really irresponsible with the money that I have. So I did get G.I. Joe Tripwire, who's like a bomb dude. I like him.
He's got like one of those the little robot.
Yeah, he comes with a little rat because apparently they use rats to find mines and stuff. So like, and he's got like an alternate look. Yeah,
that feels kind of messed up. Send a rat.
They're trained to find them. They're not doing it so it blows up. They're just
they're going to step on them. Also, they don't.
That's not what they do.
That sounds like what they do
but
from whenever you say.
Yeah, it's not what they do. Oh, he's right here. I also got I think it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Chuckles, he's just a guy. I don't know.
I love the shirt.
Guy. He's a guy in a Hawaiian shirt.
He's ready for a luau party on the battle.
He is. He's supposed to be like a Miami Vice kind of undercover guy. Like there's secret documents in this briefcase that opens. He's got like binoculars and a little tape recorder on here that can come off.
So
he's got
nothing about that figure looks like he's undercover.
Yeah,
like he's doing a bad job of being undercover.
He comes with like a lei. Like he's going on vacation. He comes with an alternate head that looks like he got beat up. And then he comes with like some alternate hands with some brass knuckles sculpted onto them. You know, like Black Chrysanthemum should have had. Yeah. Those are the G.I. Joes that I got. I did get some Star Wars stuff, starting with this Darth Vader. This is the Return of the Jedi Darth Vader. And I have to say, despite the fact that his helmet does not want to stay on whatsoever, I think this is a really good looking Vader. I think it's really good.
You like it? I haven't cracked mine open.
I do. I took some. If you want to check out my Instagram, I took some pretty cool pictures.
They were pretty sick. The ones with Luke, those were pretty sick pictures. Yeah. Everybody should go check them out. Trusty Sidekick.
Then on Sunday, I met up with a friend, Chris, who's a Random Stuff Garage, I think, on YouTube and Instagram. He's a person. He's not on a Patreon member, but he's like everywhere else that we do. He listens to this. What's up, Chris? We met at a local toy shop down in San Diego called TC's Rockets, and we're just gonna go there and hang out for like an hour or two and look at toys and see what they got. Just get some human contact. Mm-hmm. And when I got there, they had the new Omega, which I had, but they also had the Magna Guard here. I gotta turn this blurring off, otherwise it's gonna drive me insane. There we go. And it was normal price. It was $25. So I was like, oh yeah, that's
an easy pickup.
But on top of that, they were running a special that anything made after the year 2020 was an extra 20% off. So I was like, heck yeah.
There you go.
And then
look at us getting new figures for 50.
And then I found a second one. I found another one at there. I was on the shop. I was in a different spot, and I was like, holy crap, there's two here, which was great because I could cancel my pre-order for them on Entertainment Earth, save some money on them because they were cheaper. And, Chris was like, oh, you should just save one for the next collector. And you know what? If I were buying this to sell it, sure, but this is for me.
Well, if you were buying it to sell it, you morally wouldn't have made
100%. I wouldn't.
But it's there. You're the consumer. You're there to get both of them. You want two in the collection. There's.
I've collected a lot of plastic-free packaging, and this is the last wave that's in plastic-free packaging for the people listening. After that, the horrors of plastic-free packaging are gone. However, I've never had a problem once. I've never had an issue. Everything's come out what's supposed to be in the box. It's come out looking great. No issues, no warping, except for this one. The very first one I open, and he looks like this.
Yikes, that right leg is so bowed.
It is bowed. I took some pictures of it on my Instagram too, because if you get him standing right, it looks like he's trying to be like sexy, where he's like sticking his leg out or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God. And this is fixable. You just put in some hot water, you can reshape it. But my first thought was, oh my God, plastic-free packaging's betrayed me. I take back every nice thing I've ever said about plastic-free packaging. The other one came out fine.
It's funny that it got you on the last wave. Like no problems until the last wave.
There's a couple things I want to point out. Just because I see a lot of people, and there's a lot of different like misinformation things about the Magna Guard here. Number one, his little staff. Mm-hmm. I thought when they announced it that one staff was like the unignited one and the other staff was like the ignited one with the little bulb end. Mm-hmm. And that is not the case. These are both used on screen. Some of them have the little glass bulb things. Some of them are just the pointy end. But if you go back and watch Revenge of the Sith, yeah.
The best one.
The Magna Guards can be seen carrying both styles. So they gave us both styles. And that's great. I love you, Hasbro, for doing that. But like, why can't you do that for more things? For instance, this pointy staff right here is the exact same staff that the HK-87 droids use in Ahsoka. It's the same staff that you include with the TVC HK-87. Why couldn't you just include one with that too? I don't understand your choices in life sometimes, Hasbro.
It would have made so many collectors less frustrated with that reveal. Especially since they did
Missing
a red
paint
one,
apps.
Yeah.
Morgan Elsbeth not coming with anything. Like it was weird. The last thing about the Magna Guard that I want to say is when I posted pictures of it, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, you got to switch the legs. You got to switch the feet. The feet are backwards." And my first thought was, "Are they? I'll go check." And I went, and this is when I discovered the differences in the staves. The feet are not backwards. If your Magna Guard's feet have the little ankle bump pointing out on the outside, that's how they are on screen. That's correct. So whoever told you that they're backwards, I think it was out of the basement. Said I'm just excuse me. That's not correct.
Off.
I'm just gonna take my shirt off. I'm just gonna remove it. Yeah. The people that are listening to this, I'm wearing an out of the basement shirt, but I believe they said
we both are.
We both are. I believe they said during their Sunday morning live stream that he had his legs backwards, and I respectfully disagree. I went back and looked, and they're right. That's how it looks. So, anyways, I got two of those.
Wait, so I noticed when I was watching their show, it looked like. So are the feet intentionally like faced? Because it looks like theirs, they're kind of curved out. You know how like feet
all I'm saying is maybe theirs is backwards. I didn't look at theirs, but if his little ankle bump is facing the outside of the leg, that's how it is on screen. That's how he looks on screen. That's all. That's correct.
Yeah, we need to do a deep dive. So I'm looking at this picture, and it does look like their feet are back, like they look like they would be backwards, like to a human shoe. It's like a human shoe, but like
that could
mirrored.
Be. But it is a robot and not a human. But I went again and I looked at the movie, which is theoretically what they were looking at, and it has the ankle bump facing outside. So I don't know what to tell you. It's right.
That is interesting. I'm trying to look at some pictures now because I haven't really dove deep into this.
It was tough to find. I had to, at one point during the fight with Anakin and Obi-Wan on the ship, I was like crawling like frame by frame, looking to see if I could see one of their ankles. And that was what I was looking for, was the little bump.
This is probably the best we would find. I found a picture of a Lucasfilm card.
Mm-hmm.
It's I guess a game card, but it's like an elite Magna Guard, and it's a full picture of the Magna Guard. And let me see. I don't know if there's no way we'll be able to see with how small it is going to be when I share the screen, but we can try it. So this is probably the best picture we could do. It's not even going to be big enough.
Oh, that looks like it's just a screen cap from
the movie.
From the movie.
But I don't think I think this might be a digital render, because I don't think they show.
Well, they didn't make a physical one.
Yeah, and I'm saying I just mean I don't know if that explicitly is a screen grab, but I know it's kind of odd. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. I can't wait to finally get mine here eventually. And
I kind of hate it, but I like it. It's got a lot of problems, but there are some things it does really well. So like when it's and it's pretty stable. Haven't really had mine fall over yet because he's got big old chunky feet. So I don't know. It's not going to be on my top 10. It definitely has issues. It's definitely a disappointment. But I also I don't hate it. I just
remember whenever they released it, whenever they revealed it,
mm-hmm.
we both were like, they never really do specifically droid legs that aren't like the bulky ones, like the Dark Trooper.
For sure.
They are very wobbly. Human legs, they do great. Like this Ahsoka, it can stand and never fall, but droid legs, if it's not like
a problem. It's always been a problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Like although the New Republic security droid, obviously this Magna Guard, they're all just I know this is an older one, but what's the one from Rogue One, the tall one? I can't think of his name right now.
K2SO.
K2, he always falls over for me.
Oh, he's a huge issue all the time.
Grievous, even though I might be the master Grievous poser because I've always posed mine with no like stand or anything, and he's like never fallen. So
yeah, but I'm not done. I'm not done, but I'm almost done. I did get 2 more, so now I'm 5 of 6 of the holiday figures. I got my Nutcracker Purge Trooper, and then just today, I got my Snowman Trooper from Target. They didn't even tell me it was coming; it just showed up.
Hopefully they didn't charge you for it.
I don't know; we probably did, but there was that. But then, lastly. Here it is. Same thing that you got today was the Jedi Legend Obi-Wan. Super excited for this. Gonna pop it open. Pose it with the Force Ghost.
Right now?
Right now? No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna open it up right now. But I am gonna open it up.
You don't think our audio listeners would like the crinkling for 3 minutes?
Oh, do like a little ASMR thing?
Yeah. I've been doing it on TikTok videos lately, and people seem to like it.
We have too much to go over. We have way too much to go over.
Speaking of, you ready to talk about all these reveals?
Yeah, let's talk about reveals. So we're done with the Agnostic Fine Edition Agnostic. What we have now is our Agnostic slideshow for all of the reveals that took place over the last few Agnostic weeks or so.
Yeah, so this is where if you are an audio listener and you want to support us on Patreon so you can look at the slideshow that I've put together as we're looking at these entertaining agnostic figure packagings and cool action figures, you can do that with us. But first, we have the AliExpress Wolf Pack. I wanted to chat about these a little bit.
Rumored.
I thought whenever AliExpress dropped the green ones a couple episodes ago, a couple weeks ago, I didn't pick those up. So I was kind of out on AliExpress because my shelf is so full of clones, and my Clone Wars shelf specifically, it's like so overrun. But they dropped these beautiful boys, and I could not purchase these.
They do look really good. They really do.
Like, look at these. Like, look at this helmet design on Boost. This is absurd. And Comet, like, are you crazy? They even got the pink on the side of the helmet.
And the thing is, for me, I told myself, I'm only going to buy the named ones. When they're named, I'll buy them. I'm not buying the generic troop fillers. I want actual troops with names. But I realized I just can't. My clone shelves are just too full. I couldn't buy these. I told myself, no.
But look how cool
they look good. I know they look good.
But you know what's also really awesome about these, and I hope they continue to do more awesome clones. All 4 of these are sold out.
Yep,
which is insane. The only ones I purchased, I did not purchase the normal Trooper, which is the one I'm showing right now, because I figured since I got Sinker, it's literally the same thing except extra gray on the cheeks, on the side of the helmet. So I was like, I can do without the normal Trooper since I'm getting this one. And then adding 3 to the shelf is going to be a lot already. So I got Sinker, Boost, and of course Comet. The ones with the cool designs. I thought this one looked a little plain compared to, it's basically the same thing as this except less gray on the helmet. So
you know what kind of also killed it for me though with these is that they are all now the old Clone Trooper design. And now that I have the new Oppo, and just today I got charged for 2 of the regular phase 2 clone troopers. I'm like, now I'm kind of spoiled. I really like that new mold. It's really good. It looks good. The proportions are great.
This one right here is insanely amazing. But
if you guys are sleeping on Oppo, the Target exclusive, you listen. Even if you're one of those people that's like, oh, he doesn't have the arrow, like, you know, he just looks like a 501st. Like, just buy him.
Yeah, and he's got a head sculpt underneath. He's a 501st,
and he has a head sculpt.
He's a head sculpt underneath. But I would say that makes sense. And I kind of was thinking the same thing. I was like, you know, now that we got the new clone body, should I really be getting these AliExpress ones? But then I was like, well, I'm probably never gonna replace every single clone on my.
Well, they're never gonna come out with a Comet. Like they're just not.
Yeah, like,
you know.
And I'm never gonna replace all those 2.0 clones on it. So they're always gonna be there.
Sure.
I might as well add a couple more. And if you think about it, they're still relevant because Hasbro's still releasing it.
You're not wrong.
Which we'll talk about.
And so we'll talk about. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So I don't know. I might get these down the line, but I told myself right now.
Look, if Boost comes back in, you should at least get Boost because he's the coolest looking one.
You're not wrong. And I do have, obviously, I've got Wolf and having at least 2 of these flanking Wolf would look cool. But I told myself I don't need them. I'm good.
Dude, so these 3, the 3 that I got with Wolf and Plo Koon in front of them is going to be so sick.
Yeah.
You're going to be the most jealous man on the planet.
We'll see.
But moving on, we have Gift of the Galaxy reveal.
Just Gift the Galaxy.
Gift the game. So it's not Gift of the...
No. So this is their thing. I don't know. This is their thing that they're doing, like they did Mando Mania or was it Bounty? The bounty. Bring home the bounty, or whatever, where they kind of do a reveal every week, and it's not always a toy reveal. Like this week was a $500 ski suit that looks like you are an X-wing pilot on Hoth. You know, so it's cool if you're a cosplayer or if you're
gonna pick it up. You gonna pick it up?
Hell no.
You can travel up to Northern California, hit the sleds.
I mean, they're like an hour north to go to Big Bear and got some good skiing there. That's one of the nice things about Southern California, or in general, California in general, is any ecosystem is like an hour away in any direction.
You know, I might have to buy some clothes similar to that up in Green Bay this weekend because I'm sure it's going to be freezing.
It's going to be super cold.
I wish I would have dropped a while ago. I could have purchased it for the trip.
There you go. But yeah, so we got some very surprise announcements, but none of them were a surprise. The announcement itself was a surprise.
They were surprisingly not great.
Correct. So yeah.
Oh, brother.
Well, I mean, first one is good to get it out of the way. We got the single carded Star Killer, you know, and ever since the convention, the PulseCon version was announced, everyone was wondering, what does the single carded version look like? What's it going to come with? And now we know, almost nothing.
I actually got this figure early, literally just him and the saber.
I'm not gonna lie.
I forgot the packaging though.
Part of me thought about buying the single carded version so that I can use an alternate head and like the blue lightsaber, you know. So
that's not a bad idea.
I know
that's not a bad idea.
It comes that the PulseCon version comes with enough stuff that you can easily build out a second figure and make it different enough to warrant owning a second one, which I absolutely hate.
You know, for a second, does his... Hold on. Do you have your circular handy?
Doesn't that have blood?
Well, does he have a shoulder pad there, or is that skin on his right shoulder? I think it's... tell on this.
Is it skin? I think it's
okay. I feel like since there's a plastic over it, it looks like it's a pad, and I was like, is it?
No, it's not a pad. It's just, it's just the way the tray bubble is hitting the light.
Yeah, because I was looking at this arm, and I was like... That's definitely not a new arm.
But does he not have the blood on his arm?
Well, it's on the back. It's kind of on the back of his forearm, so I don't really think you'd be able to tell in the box.
So it's hard to tell. I kind of want to go look at other pictures because I didn't even think to check.
I'm sure it does because it's just probably the same exact.
Well, I would like it to be the same exact, but now I kind of want to know. Yeah. It does. It has it.
It has the blood.
It has.
So it's good they didn't withhold the red.
Yeah. I was thinking, is that another reason why getting the pulse conversion was better? And I do not regret.
Different? Is his red different from Vader's red?
Yeah,
I didn't know that until just now. And I actually have conveniently both new blades, and they are a different. Vader's is like a deeper, darker red.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Honestly,
I don't regret.
You could probably use Starkiller's blade as like Shin, and it was like Shin's blade because it looks
maybe
more orange.
the base of the blade is notched though to fit on the.
Oh yeah, it's like kind of bent, like similar to how Vader's is because it's slanted. Yeah, that makes sense.
But I still don't regret getting the pulse conversion. All those extra things, like I liked having the extra 2 stormtroopers. I like having all the alternate heads and hands options. Mm-hmm. So I don't have an issue with it, but I seriously, like, I don't know if I'll buy it pre-order, but if I ever see it on sale, I'll probably pick up a second Starkiller so I can kit out the Starkiller with some of my extra accessories.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Like those, a GameStop sale, if you can get it for like $18 or something.
Well, yeah.
I might do the same thing. Honestly.
Yeah. So this and this is Gaming Greats for everyone listening. Gaming Greats does not equal GameStop exclusive anymore. I still see every week people when they'll see like Malik or Bastilla Shan at Walmart, and they'll be like, "Oh, Gaming Greats not at GameStop." Like, yeah, it's been that way for a while. Cal Kestis was Gaming Greats from Jedi Survivor, and he was mainline, so he wasn't.
Wait, no, Mike, he was mainline exclusive.
Oh, good one. Anyways, yeah. So that's Starkiller. He was announced again. It wasn't a surprise. It was a surprise, but not a surprise. We knew it was coming.
Yeah, we knew it was coming, and he does have a cool little Legends tag.
He does. He has a little Legends logo, which I've never noticed before. So that's neat.
And then the other 2 reveals from Gift of the Galaxy we got.
These were pipelines. So this knocked two of our pipelined figures out of the way, and they were both massive disappointments.
I knew this would not be. I know we had hope, but I just knew they were not going to do a new Vader after, because I feel like they would have done a new Vader. It would have been the Kenobi show.
So this is A New Hope Darth Vader, and it is in A New Hope packaging. So if you're a box collector and you like that mural and you want the Vader in the mural, like this was released obviously back in 2017 on the anniversary cards, and then it was re-released. I think it was the last Jedi Force Friday. They released that Vader in the main line, and then this Vader again was essentially the same Vader that was part of the Obi-Wan Kenobi. They just put the underrobe under the shoulder pads. That's the only difference.
Yeah, and the QC fixes with the helmet, and they shortened the cape.
Yeah,
but that's small things.
Obviously, I don't know what cape this has and if the QC issues are fixed on this, but I would assume that they are. So you probably have this Vader already. Is my point basically.
Yeah. But how hilariously bad would it be if this Vader is the one with the QC issue and that's the one they're
that would be hilarious.
Those
that'd be
hilarious. With the nick in the back of the helmet that came on most of them. So,
and this is also the same Vader that's part of the archive non-US release as well. So this is basically the US release of that, but it's not in archive. So that's an interesting topic because it seems like they might not be doing archive stuff anymore because they're literally are just doing a package refresh of this Darth Vader, and their reasoning was we want people to always be able to buy a Darth Vader, which is what Zach I believe on one of our very first episodes, gave a long rant about this.
I think it might have been our first episode, but it might have been our second episode. I can't remember, but I literally went on a rant. I was like, archive doesn't make any sense now that we have murals. I've been on this train for so long, it seems, and finally it's happening. I was right all along. So it's nice to have something finally go your way. You know, the Rancor doesn't go my way, but this is a small victory in the world of Black Series. It just makes the most sense for, because they can always, in 5 years, they can do a new Darth Vader and put him on the mural again in a different pose.
Yep.
Well, and, like,
they did that with Chopper.
Yeah. So they can always put him on the mural again. It's not going to stop us from getting another Vader.
Nope.
And the archive packaging, I just wasn't like big on it since we have murals.
This is our fourth muraled Vader. We have the Obi-Wan Kenobi mural, two Obi-Wan Kenobi mural Vaders. We've got, and one was mainline exclusive. We've got the Empire Strikes Back mural Vader, and then we've got this mural Vader. So I think that's all the mural Vaders.
Yeah, so 4, and then so eventually I'm sure they'll do the Jedi.
I'm positive they'll do the Return of the Jedi one on a mass release box. So making it mainline exclusive.
Yeah.
So and to an extent, I understand this. I really do. I understand.
We're gonna confuse so many casuals.
I know.
Keep saying mainline exclusive.
I know.
It's a inside joke essentially.
I explained it earlier.
Mainline. Yeah, we explained it, but for the people who might have been like, not paying attention while they're listening to this in the car or something to drive through, like, mainline exclusive is not a thing, but we're gonna keep saying it because it's funny to us.
It's funny. It's just funny. Yeah. So to an extent, I'm glad we got Starkiller reveal for the people that were waiting for that. This Darth Vader, like, I'm not gonna buy it, but I don't hate that it exists. I understand it. But the third reveal for Gift the Galaxy, I just flat out, my mind rejects it as a thing that exists.
Yeah, this is
it's bonkers.
It's so baffling. I do not understand what is going on here. So essentially, for the people listening, what we mean is the Mandalorian Mines of Mandalore is what they just revealed.
Yep.
They released a beautiful, or are going to release soon. We should get it.
Yeah, it's not even out yet.
It's not even out yet. A beautiful Mandalorian from the Book of Boba Fett called Glavis Ringworld.
Yes.
And it has beautiful shiny paint from the pictures.
Brand new sculpt.
Brand new sculpt, head to toe. A nice soft goods. Sorry, Luke. A beautiful soft goods, like tattered, like at the bottom of it, like ripped up and stuff. Cape that he has.
Yep.
Also a jetpack.
And a
knife.
Darth saber,
knife,
blaster,
the whole thing, like the Mandalorian we've been waiting for.
It's the definitive Mandalorian from like season 2 Book of Boba Fett that you've been waiting for.
It's like the one. It is the Mandalorian.
It's the man. The only thing it's missing, arguably, is a removable helmet with a good Pedro Pascal head underneath. But I'm okay that it doesn't have it. I'm okay that it doesn't have it.
Yeah, but from what we've gotten, it's the Mandalorian figure. Like it is the
it's great because
Mandalorian figure.
That soft goods cape means he'll be able to put the backpack on, the jetpack on. Because one of the problems with the molded cape is you have to take it off to do the jetpack. You can't do both because it just looks weird.
And it's to the point where I purchased a custom tattered soft goods robe or cape for it.
Yeah,
but it's just baffling that they. I know technically, I guess he takes the jetpack off when he's going down to the Mines of Mandalore.
Sure,
but it's dumb not to include it and to revert back to the plastic cape. And I don't know if you noticed this. I think I sent it in the group chat. They used the same exact box art as they did on the Glavis Ringworld, so they didn't even make a new mural art.
So basically, what we're getting at, if you're still not kind of following, is that this is the exact same release as the upcoming Book of Boba Fett Ringworld Din Djarin. Same body, mostly same accessories, but worse because it's missing an accessory and the cape is molded instead of cloth. It costs the same amount. It's just in a different box, and it's called Mines of Mandalore. It is the most redundant and useless thing. If the Glavis Ringworld Din Djarin had been released like a year ago, I would understand this being announced now. Like, again, kind of like Darth Vader, they want to keep Mando in circulation. They want to give you options of buying Mando. He's a popular character. I get it, but we haven't even gotten the Ringworld version yet. It's not out yet. I don't get this.
Yeah, this is a giant step back.
It's so weird.
It seems like when they were releasing a couple figures, and if it's like, if this is a set, sort of like a Gift of the Galaxy set, if this is a budget, I don't know if these were budgeted together. It looks like they had no money to use.
Well, I just, like, it's like, who is this for? I always try to think, who could benefit from this? And with the Vader, I'm like, okay, inbox collectors that want that mural, and people that haven't gotten this Vader for whatever reason.
You always need a Vader in the line to buy.
But this is so similar to a Mandalorian that you can still pre-order. Like, it's not like it's been out for a long time and it's hard to get or whatever. Like, you could still go pre-order it. Why would you pre-order this instead? Listen, if you're listening to this and you have this Mines of Mandalore one on pre-order,
cancel that shit now.
Let me know why.
And go get the Glavis Ringworld.
Is it because of the box? Are you just pre-ordering it because of the box? I just need to know. I need to know.
Yeah,
I won't be able to sleep until I know.
It's like I sent in our group chat. I think this is 100% casual bait. It seems to me like this is for people who are gonna see it on the shelf.
Yeah.
And they don't know about Black Series that much. They're going to see it. They're going to buy it as a gift for someone.
Yep.
Or they're going to say, oh, that's the Mandalorian. He's cool. I wouldn't mind a Mandalorian figure.
Sure.
For $24.99 or
they're
whatever,
hoping to get some suckers is what it sounds like, honestly. And I hate saying that. I always hate it when someone's like, oh, you're getting scammed. Hasbro scamming you. Because there's always some kind of reasoning for it. You can always spin it. I'm not a shill, but I am an apologist. But even I am super agnostic about this.
Yeah, this is the most agnostic thing here. Yeah. This is the most agnostic release. But it's such a step backwards. I don't understand. Like, I can't even justify it other than Hasbro. They're trying to just like bait casuals and the people and the people who need the completionists who need to complete that mural. Like, they're just they're getting you and they're playing the fiddle.
The only thing about these two is that they are not mass released products. They're not even in most like their fan channel, but like super limited fan channel. Like Hasbro Pulse doesn't even carry them. And like Amazon doesn't have them. The only place I've seen them is Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth, and probably places like Nerdzoic and Toy Snowman and like little shops like that. But it's a very, very exclusive. What did they call it? What line did they call it?
So are you talking about what Yak Face said about
it was like, I want to say greatest hits, but it's not a greatest hits kind of thing. They had he had a specific A-list.
I put it in our show notes. It's he described it as best of or A-list.
Yeah, A-list, yeah.
And then he said archive, but in a mural. So this could be a thing going forward that who knows if they're going to release. Is it going to be like really popular characters? Because it seems Vader and Mandalorian, they're two of the most popular characters in current Star Wars media. So it makes sense. It's So what are some other characters that you would expect to be released as quote unquote A-list or best of in the future?
I feel like the core characters should always be what I've heard some people call as like evergreen. Like in the vintage line, there was always a Darth Vader. There was always a Chewbacca. Like, because they look the same across all the movies for the most part. we're getting a little bit more specific nowadays of, you know, Darth Vader's little quirks and foibles of his
Oh,
suit.
I can talk all day about
sure.
You know how many times I've been called a super nerd because I can tell you like what changes in every movie.
Sure,
in this
but in the 70s and 80s,
yeah, it's
like,
all yeah.
People weren't like looking at those details and stuff.
Yeah.
So Darth Vader was just Darth Vader, and you were lucky if he was vaguely Darth Vader shaped. So they just had basically the same Darth Vader, just re-released constantly in the line. And I agree to some extent. There should always be a Darth Vader that's accessible to new people that are collecting the line. There's always new people jumping in to the line, whether they're, you know, young, getting old, or old and just decided, you know what, now
they have space now. Like if they just got a house,
they just got a new job, they just got a new house. There's a lot of reasons why someone would want to start collecting now, and they haven't been collecting for a while. And to those people, welcome. Well, I'm glad that you can get a Darth Vader, but don't buy this Mandalorian. Buy the other Mandalorian.
Glavis Ringworld Mandalorian for the win.
Anyways, that's not the only reveal on Forget the Galaxy.
It is not. We have a random droid, which seems like it was kind of plucked off of like a, you know, when you go to the fair and they got them big, like you put a quarter.
This isn't a random droid.
Yes, it is. This is a random.
This is Grief Karga's droid.
Yeah, that's random as hell. What are you talking about?
That's not random. It's Grief Karga's.
That is
Grief Karga's a dude. He's a main dude.
Okay. Grief Karga's droid in the. How many other droids in the Black Series would we have expected before this one? That's random as hell.
It is pretty random. I'll give you that.
The droid's name is R46D. Is it 0 or O?
I think it's 0.
It looks like it's more thin than wide, so it looks like a 0 to me. R46D0. Walmart exclusive, pre-order spring 2024. But I love that it's on the new body.
It's on the new body.
Yeah, which is fabulous.
They could give us literally any droid on the new body. I will buy it. I do not care. I will throw away literally all of my other undersized astromech droids. Give me every combination droid you can think of. R46D0, knock me out with it. Love it. I mean, R4, we've never gotten an R4 in before. Like, it's got a very unique head shape. You know,
the head shape is awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just so random to do Grief Karga's droid that you probably only see for like 3 seconds.
Sure, it is pretty random.
But so, do you think this is like a Lucasfilm thing when they're like, if you're gonna do a droid, we want it from new media and
probably.
Way,
oh, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Does he come with a dildo?
What? What are you talking about? Where? Which one?
That little appendage?
The bottom right?
The bottom right?
It's definitely a something.
It's phallic shaped. That's all I'm saying.
That is true. That it does look a little sus.
Yeah.
If you ask me.
Yep. But so I'm actually excited about this. I love the new R2. In fact, I have not taken him off my desk. I love
it's so
this
good.
Little R2 so much. I might buy another one just so I can put that one on the shelf and this one just stays on my desk.
Hey, I got 2. You should get 2 also.
I probably will.
I honestly probably need a 3rd because I need one for a prequel shelf.
Yeah.
The drink tray on this display.
Well, I'm hoping they give us a reason to buy more, like a drink tray version or like another Dagobah version. Yeah.
I want a prequels version with the jets.
Sure, absolutely. They'd have to remold the legs, but I'm okay with that.
Do it. Everybody's gonna buy it.
Yeah, I'd buy it. Yeah, for sure. So I was of all the things that they announced, I was happiest about this because it's something
really
new.
This. Yeah. Okay.
And again, it was another pipeline that we could take off the list.
That's true. Another pipeline. Yeah, just like so random though.
It was random.
So it's not going to be.
Again, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at
droids.
It. Yeah.
It's not going to be a pre-order for me unless I need to hit a threshold for shipping. But if I see it in store, I'll most likely pick this one up. Like it's another droid going to fill the shelf.
Yeah.
I think it's a very fine addition to the Black Series for sure. But So this is what we thought we were going to be talking about.
That brings us to 1027. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, 1027 is so far it's like a third annual Hasbro Pulse Premium member celebration. It's supposed to be a live stream specifically for premium members. They send you a little email that you're supposed to RSVP for, and then they're supposed to send you a link for the video that you can watch. This year, they were going to email the link at around, I think, noon or so my time, 3 p.m. Pacific. However, that's not what happened.
So they showed you what they're revealing.
Yeah. So what happened was, I woke up, 7 or 8, and people are posting pictures of leaks from there, and we were like, "How are people getting this so early? How are they doing this? How have people?" It's clearly people who have watched the stream. Like, how are people watching the stream already? They're not. It's supposed to be a live stream. It was supposed to be sent out at 3 or whatever, and I realized it's not a live stream. It is a pre-recorded stream. And then I remembered the couple of times that I have made an unlisted video and put it in a playlist, and anyone that clicks on that playlist can see that video, even if it's unlisted. And I thought, I bet that's what happened. So I went to Hasbro Pulse YouTube channel, clicked on playlists, found their 1027 playlist, and sure enough, the 2023 playlist 1027 video was just sitting right there.
So this is back-to-back 1027s that they totally botched.
Correct.
The video for it, because last year, for the people who don't recall, they posted it, but they didn't post it unlisted, so anybody could just click and watch it. You didn't have to be
the first one. Is the only one that they did that was actually premium exclusive.
And I remember because you sent me that link so I could join and watch.
Yep.
But last year everybody could watch it, and then this year they posted it early, and everybody could. So by the time I woke up, the reveals were all over the place.
All over the place. Yeah. There was no reason to watch the video because everyone had just taken screenshots of the reveals and posted it, and I feel like there was some good stuff across most of the properties. Marvel Legends had Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man were really good.
Scarlet Spider looks really good. The Last Stand Spider looks really good. G.I. Joe had the Vamp announced, which was really good. People that are into Ghostbusters, there's a HasLab that's already funded. It funded in like 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
But Star Wars.
For Black Series, we got Paz Vizsla. Everybody clap for Paz Vizsla.
So this was another one that was pipelined. And this genuinely disappointed me because I was under the assumption that they were going to do something different. Slight remold to make it more accurate. Maybe some more accessories like a shield and a knife. Give me some reason to buy this again.
For the 4th or 5th time? How many times has this?
Fifth. So it was the original release, the credit collection, the carbonized, the Jon Favreau version, and then this version.
And this one.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I own all 4 of the other ones.
Bro is hurting right now in the wallet.
Yeah. But I will say after I was so flabbergasted by this. I thought, no, I'm positive that they said that there's like a new version or something. So I went back and found when it was announced, and I listened to the pipeline announcement, and they specifically say it's just a packaging refresh. They said that, and my brain just flat out refused to comprehend that meant it's literally the same figure in a different packaging. And that's what this is. It's in the mural packaging with the Mandalorian, and that's it. That's all.
I understand them not retooling like the arm, because I know there's a the tube plugs in somewhere. and where it shouldn't be, and like they could retool some of that stuff. And honestly, I'm okay with it not, because it's on the back. Like, you're not really going to see it that much. But what I am disappointed with, this is the 5th time they're releasing this, and they couldn't at least give us like the little wrist shield accessory,
the wrist shield, the knife, like
the knife, like the vibro blade thing.
Yep.
Like, they
again, things that the vintage collection version has.
Or, I was thinking, in his last episode where he spoilers for the end when he dies.
Yeah.
Whenever his blaster is like heated red, like glowing red because it's overheating, they could have just painted the tip of this like a glowing orangish red, and it would have been really cool.
That might have been enough
solid reason to buy it. Honestly. Yeah.
Maybe put in a little smoke effect that they could attach to the end to make it look like it's kind of smoking.
Yeah, like make it look overheating. If they had done smoke.
That, I would have bought it. I would have bought a whole other version of this just for that accessory.
But they didn't, and they just released the regular pads Vizsla, so
that's fine. Honestly, I don't have to buy it.
Another thing you don't have to buy. Yeah, this is like one of the easiest passes of the day for me. Yeah, honestly.
But that's contrasted.
But that is contrasted by this badass 2-pack. I am so pumped for this 2-pack. And for what it means for Black Series. It is so awesome. So we were talking about the Clones of the Republic, Mace Windu, and 187th Clone Legion, or Legion Clone Trooper.
So a couple things here.
What are your thoughts here?
This specifically is what they referred to when they said entertainment agnostic packaging. There is no specific entertainment that the packaging is adhering to. It's not Clone Wars. It's not Mandalorian. It's just Clones of the Republic. So it has no tie to any direct property. That's what they were referring to when they said, entertainment agnostic. That, but this is also a shout out to our boy Justin, and to a lesser extent Nate. This is something that they've been basically touting for a long time. It's not exactly what they've wanted, but I think it's something that every Black Series collector who's a fan of the prequels in some level has
I'm so behind it. Yeah, I'm so behind it for sure.
So this 2-pack, and obviously your mind races, okay, what else can they come out with? Is a Jedi and a trooper that goes with that Jedi. Seems to be the case here.
Yep.
And that's a slam dunk. It's a no-brainer.
I am pumped because I remember, if you go back maybe 20 episodes ago, Black Series Cantina, whenever we hadn't gotten a multi-pack in a while, that's not necessarily like an exclusive somewhere.
Yep.
I've always argued that they should bring back 2-packs and 3-packs and 4-packs, and we'll even talk about that a little later. And but whenever they finally announced the Obi-Wan and Darth Vader concept 2-pack, I was excited for what that means. Like,
I want more
Hasbro, are they getting back into 2-packs? And it seems
we have a couple on the pipeline now. There's a couple of 2-packs. So like, definitely seems like Hasbro's kind of listening.
We're getting back into 2-packs, which is great. I love them. I know, like, normally they're just something you have mostly just a little different. But if it's something like this, to where I might not necessarily need this Mace Windu on my shelf because I have the other two, but I'll get a 2-pack and keep it on card or in the box because I think it visually looks amazing. Sure. I'll open this specific set, but you tell me if they release like an Anakin and a 501st Trooper, I'm keeping I'm getting 2 and keeping 1.
Well, and just like what we talked about earlier, like give us a Plo Koon and a Wolf Pack, give us give us a Kiadi Mundi and whatever clone trooper they get. I don't remember. I don't remember any of the specifics.
He gets the Galactic Marines, which is on my last and top 10. So I would love a Kiadi Mundi and a Bakara. So the people that kill him.
Let's talk about the figures specifically. The Mace Windu seems to be just the Mace Windu that we got already, but he has new forearms.
Yeah, he gets the cool clone. Yeah. The clone.
He's got
forearms.
the clone forearms, which I think is cool. And honestly,
it's a cool look.
I like this better than the 2003 Genny Tartakovsky version. So I'll probably end up taking that one off the shelf and putting this one on there.
Yeah.
Instead.
Now that they're coming out with this one, I kind of wish I kept that Mace Windu on the card.
Yeah, me too.
Instead, because that one's just so over the top to me. But this one is like perfect animation in live action to me.
Yeah, this is definitely a good mixture of that 2008 CGI Clone Wars mixed with live action. It still doesn't look like he's got a spot for the lightsaber to plug in, but it might. I think that might be a little bump.
Let's see.
Because I know the original one,
it doesn't look like it to me.
Does not have a spot for it to plug in, but the other Clone Wars version does, because it's on the belt for the clone trooper. So again, this is fine if you're into Clone Wars. This is the Clone Wars Mace Windu. It'll go with the Clone Wars Anakin that we got. It'll go with the Clone Wars Obi-Wan, obviously, that we got. Maybe they'll re-release that Obi-Wan and Anakin in 2-packs like this.
I think it'd be a good way to get them back in the line.
Honestly, it would. It's a no-brainer. So let's talk about the clone trooper.
Yeah, so we kind of hinted this earlier, but they're releasing the 2.0 mold again.
Yeah, it's not the original, but it's not the new one. Yeah.
After we've gotten 2 releases now of the 3.0 mold, which is the Apo.
Well, and a fourth coming out, a third coming out with the Phase 1 clone trooper that's been.
So I know me and you just got charged for the Phase 2 blank one. I got 4 of those on the way, by the way. Let's go. I'm a sicko, baby.
You're gonna eat well.
And then we obviously got the Phase 1 that was recently announced. So yeah, what do you think about them going back to the old body?
I'm okay with the old body. What I'm a little miffed at is the colors.
Oh, yeah.
The
new...
So they released this clone trooper before, but they made it match the cartoon, which was more of like a maroonish color.
Brown, brown. Yeah.
But what is this?
It's 187th.
187th, right? Thank you.
Yeah.
When they first made when Hasbro first made this up back in the day, they gave it a purple coloring.
And then Lego
copied it.
That.
Yeah. So that kind of became the unofficial color for the 187th.
Mace Windu's leading.
Yeah, right. But then in Clone Wars, they colored it, and it was more of like a maroon brown.
So the official canon Filoni's version is the darker maroon and brown. Yeah.
But for this, they went with that purple color, which on one hand, purple's my favorite color. On the other hand, I'm kind of mad it doesn't match the one we have already. But at least it's not that weird, gross off-white or like
that's
dirty white.
So I like the purple, and the purple and white looks good, and the hint of blue, like the blue stripes on them are really cool.
Yeah, like tealish thing.
I like it. No, they're dark.
Are they dark? No.
You colorblind ass.
Way colorblind.
Yeah, they're like a navy blue.
All right.
I'm sorry, that's funny.
There you go. That's how my eyes work, dude. If you ever wonder what that looks like to me, I'd say teal. Green.
But I like that they did it the purple because it's something different and it's agnostic. Agnostic color. But it is like a different, so the people who want the, whichever can do whichever. But I think I said this when I got that clone, the original 187th in the Black Series with the off-white. That's the worst clone we have. Like, the off-white color is so off compared to everything. I honestly, whenever I get this one, I might just take that clone off the shelf because it's so bad.
Or just make it a different clone. Like, it's a dirty clone trooper from a different battalion.
Remember what I was saying when I said I bought all the AliExpress custom Wolfpack figures that I'm just so running out of space on the clone stuff. Like that one, like if I got to axe some clones, that's the first one on the chopping block.
Yeah,
so,
well, that makes sense.
But as far as what this like means for the Black Series, I'm so hyped because they're finally getting back into 2-packs. But we could get like Obi-Wan and, another 2/12, which would be cool. Maybe a Cody. But I think it's cool if you look at the packaging. I think it would be cool if they did multiple of these like clones of the Republic packs, and then on the right side you can line up the clones, and on the left side you can line up the Jedi. So you could do the mural either way. I think that would be a really cool idea. I'm not sure if that's what they're going with, but we'll have to see. But I just think that would be a cool option for collectors who are going to complete the mural. You can like flip it either way, and you could see it. But I also think it would be cool if they also did some of these where it was the leader. Like the actual commander and the clone. Like if we got a Bakara and Galactic Marine 2-pack, like, I would honestly like that and an Anakin, and I would fall to my knees. Like that would be amazing.
The more that we've been talking about this, I've been kind of thinking like, I feel like there's some times where Hasbro makes something, but something happens that stops them from making it part of like the release schedule. Like Ahsoka pops up and they've got to release characters for Ahsoka or something. And I am positive that's why, we've got Pre Vizsla coming out and he's on the super old body. I think Pre Vizsla has been hanging out.
He had to have been delayed since
before that Death Watch Mando. I think they've had him just hanging out before then. And I think this is the same case here. I think they've had this going since those Clone Wars Target exclusives in 2021, which is why it's got this Clone Trooper body on it, because at the time this was the Clone Trooper body.
Yep, I would agree with that. This has probably been in the works for quite a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely down for more of these. So I really hope Hasbro just hammers them home. We didn't even bring up the price. This was only $44.99.
No, I was saving that. I'm glad you brought it up. The price is ridiculous.
Like that is like how many years ago would this 2-pack have been $44.99 and been like
three
normal?
Years ago.
Yeah, like normal.
Three years ago.
But nowadays that's less than retail for 2 figures.
It's less than retail for 2 figures, and it's 2 great figures. And it's sold out before the Pulse Premium member
in the premium hour. Yeah. I know Lane Speeder Luke and Lucanus Monster. They're both premium members, and they couldn't even pre-order it because
same
it
with
sold out
Wilbon.
before
I'm pretty sure Wilbon.
Wilbon also
couldn't get one for him either. But I believe today or yesterday it was back in stock.
Yeah, I think. Was it yesterday or the day? I can't remember, but a day or two later, it went back up for order.
Yeah.
So I placed my order.
Good.
I'm so excited. Yeah,
I'm glad
I got it locked in.
For the people listening, if you're not in the know or whatever, this is a Hasbro Pulse / Shop Disney exclusive. So it's going to come out next year. Hasbro Pulse has it in stock, out of stock, but you can pre-order it when it's in stock. Shop Disney, they're probably not going to put it up for pre-order until it's out. But I don't think there'll be any problem having this. But that means that you'll be able to find it in the parks. You'll be able to order it off of Shop Disney's website. It shouldn't be too hard to get, honestly.
Yeah, we're actually, speaking of the parks, I think we're trying to plan a trip to Disney World in February. So maybe I'll just see it there and be able to cancel my pre-order. If
could be. Yeah.
But I also kind of wanted to bring up, so this is Clones of the Republic. Do you think they could do, I feel like they could do this with any Star Wars faction. Like they could literally do a Troopers of the Empire, and then do
droids of the Federation.
Confederate, and then they could do supporters of the Republic or rebels or whatever, whoever. Troopers of
troops of the rebellion. Heroes of the Rebellion.
Yeah, Heroes of the Rebellion. And then you could do a Luke and a who knows? Yeah,
I don't know, a Han with an Endor Rebel soldier or something. Make it a different Endor Rebel soldier.
Yeah, and they could do a 2-pack. They could even go to the sequels. You could do Fighters of the Resistance.
There's a lot of opportunities for doing something like this. And again, it's something that the line has been needing for a while. Some kind of troop building option, not as expensive as retail, just to get.
It just kind of spices things up a bit. It's different from the same old mundane single pack. After it seemed like there was a span of 2 or 3 years there where everything was a single pack.
Yep.
Because they got out of doing these big elaborate, like PulseCon exclusive things to where they were just Filoni with a head, Filoni on a head and Favreau on a head.
Yep.
But this is a cool set, so I'm excited to see where those go. But us prequel fans, we've been eating good this year. Like,
absolutely.
We got Destroyer Droid and Super Bad Droid on the way.
Yep.
But let's talk about the reveals from MCM London Comic-Con.
Less than 24 hours later, we got even more reveals because London had a Comic-Con, and the reason that 1027 was pre-recorded was because everyone was at Comic-Con in London.
Yep. So the first reveal we have, this is what I've been waiting for. We finally got the 100% new Anakin Skywalker mold. I can finally stop talking about it. I can finally stop talking about it on every podcast. It finally happened.
This is like a monkey's paw kind of situation where, you're like, I want a brand new sculpted Anakin Skywalker. And then that monkey paw closed the finger.
Yeah, there you go.
And you got the Phantom Menace, Jake Lloyd. With a backpack.
With a backpack. No helmet.
No helmet. Yeah.
But
so
the likeness, I feel like, is amazing on this figure.
I think it's pretty good. I think it definitely looks like Jake Lloyd for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like they really knocked it out of the park. Like, I feel like as far as paint goes, I feel like he could use a wash. I feel like he should be a little dirtier living on that sand.
Especially living on Tatooine. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Does this open the door for a Watto potentially in the Black Series?
I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it at all. But here's my thing. I noticed on display they had him posed sitting down.
Yeah. Got it. There we go.
They have him posed sitting down. When does Anakin Skywalker sit down? When he's piloting.
Are you an angel? Doesn't he sit down when he says that line?
Sitting down. You're right. He is sitting down.
I think it's like this exact pose,
I'll get him my thoughts for that. No, I'm just really hoping that, because what they did was they sculpted his shirt to make it so it can kind of bend in on itself and make him comfortably sit despite having the sculpted rubber kind of lower part of his shirt. It doesn't really get in the way. So I'm hoping that means that we'll be getting a pod racer Anakin in a pod racer. I think that is.
Could you imagine?
I would love it so much.
They would knock it out of the park too. They would do. I
would love it so much. I mean, just put a little helmet on him. A pod racer is not that big. It's not $50-$60.
Oh, it's going to be more than that these days.
Honestly, I don't care. I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. I think it's so great.
Yeah, that is a good point though about the sitting down. I didn't even consider that. Didn't even consider that. Wow. I mean, you got me feeling some type of way here, Mike. I'm ready for it. I would be the first person in line to buy a pod racer, but this Anakin. So I remember we were saying like they got to include the helmet, like they have to give us something as an accessory. So we got the backpack, which is fine. But my thing was with how packed that they made that Omega figure. Alt head, and the bow.
Two versions of the bow.
Yeah, I thought we would get the helmet, or at least like maybe he could come with some tools because he's in his shed.
Or a multi-pack. Give us an Anakin with the helmet. Give us a Watto with like a data pad and a little chance cube. Give us a Qui-Gon with the poncho.
I actually think a cool build-up pack, like Luke is mentioning here, Anakin and Watto build-up pack. I think a cool one would be this Anakin and then the unfinished C-3PO when he's building him.
Also a good option. Absolutely. Yeah.
Because I know Luke has one, like it's sort of a Tatooine, like sort of diorama where it's sort of like a workspace. That's like, it'd be perfect for this Anakin, but you could like do a table that you're like he's operating on C-3PO and actually building him. I feel like that would be a good way for Hasbro to re-release this Anakin and get
have him be able to put the eye in.
Yeah, the eye. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would be a cool.
Well, let's talk about the next one because I have another thought, and it only makes sense if you know what the next one is.
And it is Padme Amidala from The Phantom Menace.
So
this is the Padme everyone was asking for, by the way.
It is not. It is not.
Are you sure it's not?
I'm positive it's not. It's the one that I thought they would do. This is the most action-packed Padme from The Phantom Menace. It's the one from the end when they're storming the castle. Got your gun with the ascension cable option. She comes with an alternate hand that's just sitting there in the package.
Yeah. Alt hand.
And Padme is 2 for 2 when it comes to alternate hands and releases. Fun fact.
You think it's the same, probably just the exact same hands?
Oh, probably. It's just because the gun's bigger and they need a bigger hand to hold it. Like, I get why, but it's just weird that it happened twice. It's not a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Why does Padme get old hands, but Black Chrysanthemum doesn't?
I don't know. I don't know. How come Anakin Skywalker gets nothing and Padme gets 2 guns and an alternate hand? We can't get a Darth Vader with an alt force. Well, we finally have one with an alt hand.
Well, that's just a pop off for the.
But it's still an alternate hand.
I mean,
it's an alternate non-hand.
Yeah, it's not a swappable hand that's multi-purposed.
I mean, it's exactly what I want it to be because I got a really cool picture.
I'm talking about for I need an action one though.
I agree.
A couple, but that's where my SH figure.
It's a scene specific hand, is what it is.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, this is not the Padme that I would have wanted. I think most people would want the Padme in the red dress.
This is the red dress. Look at it. Everybody told Hasbro they wanted red dress Padme, and they delivered maroon dress Padme.
Sure. Or since they released Anakin Skywalker, why not the Padme when she went to Tatooine too? So you can recreate them from the same scenes. You got Anakin, you got Padme, you put them together, and they never appeared together in the movie in these outfits. Or if they did, it was like in passing for like 30 seconds. Because basically, as soon as they attacked the castle, they all split up in a different places.
So they were probably in the same vicinity, but he was with the Jedi, or she was. I'm forgetting the end of the movie now.
Would you want Anakin in the Naboo starfighter helmet or in his pod racing helmet, or both?
They should have put in both. They packed Omega. We should have got the option.
It's true.
But that's an interesting. I wouldn't have minded the Naboo starfighter helmet because that's what he blows up the.
Yeah, I mean he wears
the ship in. But I was originally thinking pod racer helmet.
Same. And then I just realized, he also wore a helmet in the starfighter.
So with this Padme, these photos, the face, like that photo specifically in the middle, and that one on the right, does not look great at all.
No.
But I know they did a recap video sort of where they kind of explained how they actually updated it.
Yep.
And in this picture, it actually looks really good. Apparently they smoothed out the hairline a little bit. The proportions of this figure, though, do look like animated to me. That
I don't know if it's the angle, maybe, because if you go back and look at the one on display, like I feel like her arm is the right length there.
This one does look better. It just felt like her torso area was so tiny in these pictures.
I think it's 100. I think it's the angle. I think it's the
her
angle.
Her head just looks so big here.
Yeah.
And this picture, it looks good. So like it looks better in the in-hand photo. So that's always relieving. Yeah. But at first, whenever these photos dropped, everybody was like, how did they fumble this Padme so hard?
Yeah.
But this photo actually looks good. Like the face sculpt is amazing. I guess they reworked the hairline somehow. And
it looks a lot better for sure.
Yeah, proportions do look better in hand. And this Anakin on the left, like I just feel like they nailed Jake Lloyd. Like this is probably the best you could get for a $24.99 action figure. Like look at even like the sculpting on the undershirt at the top and the paint detail on it.
Yep.
Like that's just so good. Like
you're right. It's just missing a wash though. I think a wash bring out
wash would go
a lot of the
way.
ankle, like the wrinkles and the dirt
Like
and grime and stuff. Yeah.
I would understand if they skip a wash like on the top clothes, but we should have got something on the boots,
Mhm.
you know, in like the lower leg area.
Sure.
Like that's just where it kind of on a figure this size, and we only get a backpack. Like unless that backpack is dense and full of stuff, we should have got like a paint wash on the boots at least, like at minimum.
I agree.
But yeah, those are some cool prequel figures. We gotta support the prequel figures. So everybody,
show them love. If you want more prequel figures, you gotta support the figures they make. Because listen, I know you think, oh, I'm not gonna buy these to show Hasbro that I don't want these, but Hasbro's not gonna look at that and say, oh, people just don't want these characters. They're gonna look at that and say people don't want the prequels. That's what they're going to take away the wrong message. Anakin body would make a good young Luke custom. That's a good point, Luke.
That is true. Yeah, honestly, you could take a helmet that he wears in the Kenobi show when he's pretending to fly around, and there's your young.
Isn't that basically just his dad's helmet?
What?
Was he pretending to pod race?
Helmet?
He was pretending to pod race. I just assumed that it was. Yeah.
Was it Anakin's helmet though?
It was a pod racing helmet, I would say. I don't know if it was
specifically, but it was Anakin's. I don't remember.
Yeah. I mean,
I wouldn't be shocked.
Friggin' Cobb Vanth running around on his engine.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let's see, what do we have next? Pipeline reveals.
Yeah, so
this is where it gets juicy.
Yeah, this is where it gets good. Yeah.
So the first one, we have another 2-pack, which is awesome. It's going to be a Shop Disney and Hasbro Pulse exclusive. It's a Phase 2 clone blank.
I'm assuming that's the same one that we're getting right now. Like it's coming out in the current line.
We'll see. And then so it also comes with just a regular, so you get a regular Phase 2 Trooper and a regular Battle Droid 2-pack.
Right.
But so my question is, since we just had a 2-pack revealed that has the old clone, do we think this is going to be the old body or the new body? I really want the new body, but because if this is the old body, I'm probably not picking it up since it just comes with a Battle Droid.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need another Battle Droid, that's for sure. But if it is and honestly, I'll probably buy this anyway. I'm just going to be honest. I'll probably buy this, at least one anyway. But again, this is kind of what we're talking about. Like, this is the kind of thing they should be releasing, especially this. These are two army buildable figures.
This is like Army Build Central for prequel fans.
This is the most army buildable pack that Hasbro's ever done in the Black Series, where they're both. There's like with the other one, no one wants an army of Mace Windows. You know, you're gonna have an army of clone troopers.
You have to sell them all off. Yeah.
Exactly. Whereas this, both figures are going to be army builders. Even the other one that's been pipelined, the Super Battle Droid C-3PO. Like, no one wants an army of C-3POs. You know, you want a bunch of battle droids, but like you don't want C-3POs.
Yeah. So I'm really hoping it's the new body. If it's,
me too.
I also feel like this pack should come with like some weapons that they haven't released
or
in this single pack. Like blast effects.
Yeah.
They don't
maybe like an energy effect to go around the battle droid, like it's being shut down.
Yeah, zapped or something. Yeah, that would be cool.
Zapped or something. Yeah.
But I feel like this is the time to like introduce some rockets.
Sure.
You know, like some
stuff like the G.I. Joe comes with. Like, just like rockets with the blast effects coming out, or
or like or just even honestly include the rocket that the AliExpress figure comes with.
Or that. Yeah.
You know, like just something like that. I feel like we should get something a little more than just the normal clone and droid blasters that we've gotten.
Yeah.
But the next pipeline reveal is Darth Sidious from Revenge of the Sith, and it's going to be a fan channel exclusive, which is great. But I will say, I have been clamoring for an Episode 3 Palpatine for so long. But when I first saw this, I couldn't help. This is going to be shocking, but I wasn't really excited for some reason. I know everybody.
It's not the one you want. It's not the one you want.
Everybody was super thrilled, but it's. Yeah. I'm afraid. I am scared
Yeah.
that they're gonna just release the Palpatine we have already.
Just with just straight up re-release.
Just
put a lightsaber. I hope they put a lightsaber in there at the very least.
Yeah, they're gonna do his red saber, which will be fabulous, but they're just gonna give us the one we have, the same black robe, and put it in a Revenge of the Sith box. And I'm a sucker, so I'll buy the damn thing.
I hope you haven't cursed us, but
I'm just afraid because when I saw that, I said, "Oh no, they found a way not to give us." Because whenever we did the last 10 big thing that we did, we both explicitly said we want the version where he's fighting Mace Windu, where he has the maroon red cloak, and
his
give
Senate
us the
robes or
swappable
whatever.
head, so you can have the. Because if they did that, I'd buy 2 of them, so I could have the head.
That would be an easy
on both
buy.
times.
Absolutely.
But this one, I'm gonna get it because if they eventually do a prequel Yoda, speaking of 2-packs, that'd be a badass 2-pack.
It would be a
Yoda
badass 2-pack.
versus Palpatine
for sure.
And I'm sure Luke would do some type of Senate chair display where you could have him battling. And I would do that with this one, and it'd be great. But the one I've been clamoring for is the red one. But I am excited. We're finally going to get a Revenge of the Sith box.
And again, that is true. It's going to be a Revenge of the Sith box.
Considering how far they go to ignore the Revenge of the Sith packaging, I wouldn't be surprised if they just do some type of new packaging for this.
Right. They're doing a Clone Wars Darth Sidious.
They'll put the Clone Wars in there.
So again, for the people listening, these are pipeline reveals. So we don't have the actual figure. We don't know what it looks like. But they've given us essentially what they use as a reference for the picture. So this is specifically a Darth Sidious from Revenge of the Sith when he's fighting Yoda. Like it's clearly he's like laughing and cackling in the Senate like chambers with all the different pods and stuff.
This is when he's like throwing the chairs at
pods
him.
and stuff. Yeah.
And so they've been very good over the history of using like the actual picture that they show as a figure. I think there's been 1 or 2 that was slightly different. I wish I would have done some research because I know we've covered it on the show whenever they've done it, but they've been very good at using the picture they show is the figure you're
when they pipelined the Endor Rebel Soldier, they used Nick Sant, and that's what we got a figure of. For the most part.
So they're usually pretty good at that. So I feel like it's definitely going to be. But if they reveal it and it's got the red robes, I'll be thrilled. But it's good news. Everybody buys it. They're going to say, "Oh, they like this guy. Let's put him in the more iconic looking robe from that movie."
Absolutely,
and do that.
So can I talk about the bonkers reveal? The reveal.
Do it. Jump
in 1,000 years I would have never guessed that we'd get this. So it seems like they've been doing publication releases where they do kind of comic books and some legend stuff. They're doing a 4-pack. Again, another multi-pack.
Wild set.
Wild.
This is crazy.
This is from the third in the Thrawn trilogy, The Last Command. It's a 4-pack with Luke Skywalker, Mara Jade, and Jorus Kaboth. So this is basically the end of the book, the showdown, where Luke Skywalker is fighting his clone and this is one of those things that just did not age well. Because when Timothy Zahn was writing this, no one knew what the Clone Wars was. No one knew what clones were about. He just was making stuff up. And in this case, they cloned Luke. And the way you could tell that he was a clone was they just put an extra U in his name. And he's cloned from the hand that got cut off. And so he's got also the Skywalker family lightsaber. And they fight, and Mara Jade is looking on. And she's actually the one that ends up fighting and killing him, which, spoiler alert for a 40-year-old book, she had.
I honestly did not know that. So
she had some kind of impression because she was the Emperor's hand. She was like the Emperor's assassin, and the last thing he told her was to kill Luke Skywalker. And so she fights and kills the clone, which releases her from that command, which makes her kind of a good guy again. And then this whole time, and in this book trilogy, Luke's been being manipulated by this by what he thinks is just a Jedi come back from somewhere to help him out, and he ends up being a crazy clone who's going insane. Of a Jedi named Joris Kaboth, but again, they just put an extra U in his name, and that's how you know that he is a clone as well. That was like a reveal, like, oh my god, he was a clone the whole time. And he's more of like an emperor type person where he's like lightning hands kind of thing. He didn't really lightsaber a lot. So this is a 4-pack of just, again, Legends content that I just never thought that we'd ever get on a toy level from Hasbro.
Did you ever think we would get a Joris Kaboth figure before we got like a Lobot or something?
No. Yeah, and you know what? I would have put Joris Kaboth, like, because you know, we had the Heir of the Empire, Luke Skywalker, and then we had Mara Jade, and Heir of the Empire was Luke Skywalker, and then Mara Jade was what was the second book? Dark Empire, I think is the second book. It's something like that. It's the second book in the trilogy, and the third book is The Last Command. And so a lot of people were, they were thinking like, okay, what are we going to get for Last Command? They've done the first book, they've done the second book. What's the third book figure going to be? And I thought, I thought like Joris Kaboth works. Why not? We got a Mara Jade, we got a Luke. I thought at a long shot we might get Luke Skywalker, but I thought no, they're not going to give us a clone of another Luke Skywalker. But they are. They're giving us all of it. They're giving us everything.
Yeah, everything in one giant 4-pack and
one package.
It is exclusive to Pulse and Shop Disney, so I feel like it'll be fairly, limited. So it's not going to be something that's going to be on the shelves at Walmart for or anything.
You're probably not going to find these at like Ollie's or Ross, a year from now. That's not usually how these exclusives go, although it's not unheard of. I'm never say never, but usually these are made in much, much, much lower quantities.
Yeah. So I think it's hilarious that everybody's been saying we're so tired of Return of the Jedi era Luke. We're so tired of like we're getting these Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian Season 2 Lukes and all these Return of the Jedi Lukes. And then Hasbro says, you know what? Let's release a 4-pack, and half of the figures are going to be Return of the Jedi era
Luke's. Here's 2 more Lukes. We heard you like Luke, so here's 2 more.
Like, oh yeah, you don't want Return of the Jedi Luke? Bam! Here's a 4-pack, and 2 of them are that Luke.
Yeah, but they kind of got some of these people over a barrel because it's their precious Legends.
That is true.
It's the thing they're so mad at Disney for getting rid of. Even though they didn't, like, they still exist. And Disney is still re-releasing. They're still printing these books. Like every month or so, they release new Legends content with new covers as part of their like Ultimate Legends or like it's like a best of Legends. And they just finished releasing like all of the Zahn trilogy, again with new covers and they all match up if you put them side by side. And so it's not like Disney's like, no, these don't exist anymore. They still exist. They're just not canon. And you know what? They never were. They were never actually canon. And so nothing's really changed. No, you can still like them the same. You can like them the same. If you're like, I prefer these to the sequel trilogy, fine. Absolutely fine. It's still there. You can still read it. It's fine. It's not any different from when you read a comic book and Spider-Man hangs out with this and they do different things, and then you watch a movie and he does different things. He likes different people. He's got maybe a slightly different origin or whatever. They tweaked it for the story there. But it's still Spider-Man. You can still enjoy it. It's not like, oh, they've ruined Spider-Man. Like, people freaking love Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and they ruined Spider-Man. They gave him organic web shooters, which is just stupid. He's never had that before, and now everyone friggin' loves it, but everyone hated it when they did that.
I'm glad they did kind of talk about it.
Oh, I loved it when they talked about it. I loved it when they talked about it in the movie. And
then like, where else
did that in the comics? Like he got eaten by a spider and then like reborn from the spider, and he had organic web shooters after that. It was wild. It was weird. Anyways, that's not really. I'm just saying, like, if you like Legends content, I don't. And I haven't for a while. This is not like a recent thing. It's not like Disney said Legends isn't canon anymore. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I don't like canon. I don't like Legends anymore. I haven't liked Legends since they killed Chewbacca. I haven't liked Legends since Tales of Jabba's Palace. Yeah, the moon. But yes, okay. I haven't liked Legends. I didn't like the Jedi Academy trilogy. I think Kevin J. Anderson's a just awful writer. If you don't like J.J. Abrams or you think Rian Johnson's the worst, you haven't read Kevin J. Anderson. He is garbage. I'm just, but that's fine. If you like it, cool. It's still there. You can still read it. I don't. I don't know. But that being said, I still like characters from it. Jaina Solo, one of my favorite figures in the entire line. She does not exist in canon anymore. They've erased her. There's no possibility of Jaina ever existing in canon. But her figure, one of my absolute favorites in the entire line. Top 5 figure for me. You know,
I know you really like the Mara Jade.
I do. And I like Mara Jade as a character, you know, just because I don't like Legends or all the stories she's in or whatever, doesn't mean I don't like the character. I think she's great.
So let's go over some of the stuff that was revealed. And we'll say if you're in or out of the single pack Star Killer.
Potentially in, but only if I find them on sale.
Same. I think you kind of convinced me with being able to swap the heads and with the sabers and stuff on the bodies. Mandalorian, Darth Vader.
Absolutely repacks. No. Zero chance. Never gonna buy them.
I'm out on both of
those.
Not
even on sale.
R4 6DO.
Day one pre-order for me.
I'll pick it up if I see him. I'm not gonna pre-order them, but if I see him on the shelf, I'll pick it up. Well, Walmart's usually free shipping. I might just pre-order it anyways. So 1027 reveals Paz Vizsla repack. I'm out on that one.
Not even a little bit. Not even if it's on sale.
And Clones of the Republic, Mace Windu,
already
and
pre-ordered.
187.
Yeah.
You
pre-ordered it.
You were one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, first thing I did was pre-order that. Made sure I got it.
Yep, I got my pre-order in 1 or 2 days later, which was awesome. The London Comic-Con reveals Phantom Menace, Anakin, and Padme. I'm in on both of those. Of course,
I pre-ordered them all as soon as they went up.
New mold Anakin Skywalker. Are you kidding me? I'm 100% in on that. I've been clamoring for that bad boy.
That's your,
And then the pipelines. I'm in on all of them.
I'm in on all of them.
I'm tentatively in on the 2-pack, the Clone Trooper and Battle Droid. But if it's the old body, I don't feel like it's necessary because I have 4 of the 3.0 blank mold, like the white ones, the normal ones on the way. So
you don't need another one.
I don't necessarily need another one. I don't necessarily need another droid. So I'm like in between on that. If they come with some cool accessories, I'll be in, but it's probably a pass for me just because I don't need them running out of space. Palpatine, definitely in on. I wish it were the better version, but I'm scared though. I mean, if it's literally just the one we have and they're putting it in a Revenge Sith box with a new saber, I'd have to get it, but it would really suck. And then the 4-pack, I'm out on the 4-pack. You're in on the 4-pack?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think this is one of those things that it's so ridiculous. I can't believe it exists. Of course, I have to get it.
Yeah,
again, and I don't really like. I don't think these. I think a lot of people hold these books in a very high opinion. I think that they did not age well. I think that they're not great. But I still want this 4-pack. I still want the characters.
Yeah, I have never read them, and I don't even know what happened in the story. So whenever you told me like Mara was supposed to kill Luke, and then so she killed Luke, and then it ended up where I have no idea what even happened. So I don't necessarily need the representation on my shelf, but I think it's really cool for the people who grew up in that time, and because if I grew up in that time, hell yeah, I would want 4-pack of that if I read the book or anything. But we do have some other, like, just one more thing I wanted to go over before we kind of got off, because they introduced.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't a Hasbro photo. This is actually a Tamashii Nations like Bondi photo that I cut the background out of. But so Hasbro mentioned a prequel program for next year, which I think is awesome because whenever they brought up the Anakin and Padme from Phantom Menace, they said, we're going to be celebrating the Phantom Menace, but also the other movies in the trilogy, which I think is fabulous because they're finally going to start really diving into the prequels, which they started to this year.
I'd be okay with a whole year of just nothing but prequel stuff. Honestly, I really would be okay with that. Yeah.
It's just been so overdue because we've been getting so many new media figures.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's hard for them to find time to release the older stuff.
I would be okay if they kind of did like maybe 2024 all prequel stuff. 2025 all OT stuff. 2026 give us all sequel trilogy stuff and like new media stuff. Like mix it all in there.
Well, 2025 has to be the Revenge of the Sith throwback packaging.
It doesn't have to be.
It has to be.
It doesn't have.
It has to be. It has to be. I need that Darth Vader with the fire, 6-inch scale, whatever figures they want to put in it. But so Hasbro isn't the only people celebrating, the prequels this year. We got 25 years of the Phantom Menace coming up. So I know this is a Black Series show, but I really wanted to throw this in here because it's so good. Like, this might be the most perfect 6-inch Darth Maul you'll ever see.
The SH Figure Arts Darth Maul, it does look good.
SH Figure Arts Phantom Menace Darth Maul. He includes soft goods, cloak, the saber that splits in half, and I have another picture of that. Well, I guess I didn't include that picture. But the saber splits in half, and it comes with his droid that he talks to. It just looks so menacing and so perfect.
Yep.
Like the sculpt is... They're also doing a Qui-Gon, which is cool, but he comes with a couple cool accessories, but I feel like the Black Series one looks better with the photo reel.
Sure, yeah.
So definitely not getting Qui-Gon, but he does include his cloak also. But...
Well, we're way overdue for a Darth Maul refresh, honestly, in the Black Series. Like a Phantom Menace Darth Maul refresh. I know we've gotten a couple... But
that's exactly why I included this on here, because I feel like it's relevant to the fact that we haven't gotten a good Phantom Menace Darth Maul.
I mean, 2013, 10 years
since it released, and because it was good then, but it's just kind of aged out. I mean, it's fine. It visually looks good, but this one is just perfect.
Hasbro has come a long way in terms of sculpt and articulation.
They could knock it out of the park.
I agree.
And Darth Maul even includes those, swinging blades, the effect to make it look like and they both do.
Yep.
But I think I might be in on this Darth Maul. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I think I'm going to be in simply because Hasbro hasn't done it. And Hasbro's missing out on the market because they haven't.
They're also doing a Farm Boy Luke.
They're reissuing Farm Boy Luke and the Phantom Menace Obi-Wan Kenobi. They're reissuing. So two new ones and 2 reissues.
Yep.
So I think I'm going to be in on this Darth Maul. Are you going to consider picking it up?
No,
or
not at all.
No. Oh, you
not because I don't think it's good. Words. Yeah, I'm just going to hold out hope that we get a new one in Black Series and appreciate this one from afar. I just can't crack that SH Figure Arts seal.
See, that's what's been happening to me because I got my first SH Figure Arts was the Iron Spider, which because I wanted the Marvel Legends one, just it wasn't shiny, so I wanted a shiny one. And then I got the SH Figure Arts ones, and they were like, those figures are amazing. And then I got the Darth Vader for Star Wars, and the Return of the Jedi Vader on sale, which was really, really nice. Well, and I got the Anakin. The SH Figures Anakin, because that went on sale on Amazon or something, and they're so good that I might have to pick this one up. But
if these were like $35-$40, like the ones you get at Target are from Dragon Ball Z or whatever,
I would include like a ton.
Sure, I would 100% get these if it was the $35-$40. But I just can't do $80 for one figure.
Yeah, that's the only thing kind of holding me back. I wish Kappa Hobby sold it because Kappa Hobby is the best place to get SH figures, specifically Dragon Ball Z, because it's free shipping to the United States, and I think everything is 10% off normal retail. So it's really insane. So, But yeah, so I think that's probably going to do it for episode
Actually,
58.
I've got one thing.
I've
got one thing that I forgot.
Let's do it.
This is part of my fine additions that I just completely spaced. It's sitting right here.
So
at Ross,
is an agnostic fine edition.
Yes, it is. We're going back.
Does it or doesn't it exist?
I'm bookending. At Ross, speaking of things showing up there, the Rey Skywalker lightsaber has been showing up.
Oh yeah,
for $60, and I happened to go there, and I bought my very first Black Series lightsaber. Partially because I've always kind of just wanted to own one, and $60 isn't bad. You know, I would get more if they were $60.
Very good quality for it.
Honestly,
$60.
this thing is hefty. Like I have the one from Disney. This feels a lot better in the hand in terms of just weight, heft, thickness. It feels good. The problem I have is when you put batteries in, it turns on, and the switch, which is cool because it's the same thing it was in the movie, the switch does not work. The only way to turn it off is to take the batteries out.
So
sucks. It does suck. And I looked online. Apparently, that's actually an issue with some of these. It's just something in the switch that makes it. So I emailed Hasbro. I'm hoping. I'm not expecting much because obviously this is like unsold overstock. I don't know if they're going to care enough
they're probably going to say you got it on like 80% off at Ross. You were not sending you one.
Yeah. But I still spent, $60 isn't nothing. And I still I still expect it to work. It is kind of cool. Like this thing unscrews to get the blade in so that the little
it pops
pieces
out.
Here pop out. Yeah, like there's a lot of really cool little things here. It comes with a super nice stand.
Is it those Black Series, a black one? Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah. So it's like this is. I don't hate that I own this, even if it doesn't really work. Like if I ever wanted to, I could just put the battery pack in because it just screws on the bottom down here, and it's just on. I just can't turn it off. But I can still kind of play with it, like the motion and everything works.
Honestly, those sabers are best just to have the hilt on display anyways.
I think it looks cool. The hilt just looks cool on display. I really do like that. For sure.
Honestly, I have two of the older ones that you can't take the blades off of. Mm-hmm. And I would love to display those with just the hilt because you turn it on once or twice. You like your friend comes over and you
and then what?
For a little bit, and then it's like it just sits there in the corner. So
this has a little hook right here to go on like your belts or whatever.
Oh, sweet.
So I totally forgot about that, but I wanted to bring it up because it's out there. It's $60, but if you do get it, I guess watch out because I've been thinking about should I try opening it up and seeing if I can like find the problem, but I don't have like a soldering iron or anything to fix it, so I don't know.
Well, a true Jedi would rework it and make his own saber. So
that's true. That's true.
You can you've played Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor.
That's
you can
true.
work on.
I built my own lightsaber at Disneyland, which basically makes me a Jedi.
Yeah, exactly. But so let's have a quick side conversation about her saber, if you're up for it, just real fast.
Okay.
I like that her new saber at the very end of episode 9, the one you just showed. Mm-hmm. I like that it kind of resembles her staff from episode 7 that she used.
It's clear that she used her staff. Yeah, it's clear that's what she used. Yeah.
But I will say that the way the saber looks, isn't that like the least what you would expect Rey, like the new Jedi Rey, to have? Don't you think she'd have something a little more elegant than that?
No, I think it perfectly encapsulates her origins and upbringing as like a kind of street urchin scavenger.
I don't know. Whenever I was watching the movie and she was holding it up, the scene, then she like flips it. I was like, that looks like a Sith's lightsaber.
No, I don't
like the hilt looks so Sithy to me.
I just think it looks like her staff. So I thought it fit her.
Yeah, I was like, I kind of thought she would build and maybe it'll be her next one. Like this is the one she builds from what she has, and then but maybe in the movie, maybe she'll have the same one or make a new one. Who knows? But I always thought that it didn't like fit her new like personality or whatever. Or what I like assumed she was gonna be going forward. I thought she'd have something elegant like Leia's or something.
I do like Leia's. I like Leia's lightsaber a lot. Yeah,
Leia's is nice. It's like kind of goldy, like
rose. And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. The Rise of Skywalker is not my favorite Star Wars movie by far, but I like things from it. Like I like the lightsabers from it. I like Leia's lightsaber. I like Rey's lightsaber.
Do you like Kylo's helmet and how they brought it back?
Or? I do. I like it's got the same kind of kintsugi thing that Thrawn's troopers have, like where he kind of puts it back. I think I like those things. I think that's fun. I think it's neat.
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to do it for episode 58 of Black Series Cantina. I have to wake up in like 5 hours. So.
Gross. Yeah, let's get out of here. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock my time, so it's like 1 o'clock your time. That's gross.
Yeah, it's very, very late. But the show must go on. Anything for the show.
That's right.
Do you have anything you're working on YouTube?
I'm still working on. I'm still working on Black Chrysanthemum review. I took a break because I had to get our bots and shots. We just did a Halloween episode. I had to get that out before Halloween. And
you were on a roll there on YouTube for a while.
I was. But Bots and Shots is like an hour and a half long, and it was like 5 hours of video content I had to go through. So it took a while. So I'm working on that. Outside of that, like, I'm on the normal social medias. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Threads. I'm on Instagram. Just type in Mike Case, you'll find me. I'm on YouTube.
Yep, and I'll tag him. I tag him every time whenever advertising the podcast. You can follow me on Instagram at Black Series Cantina. Follow me on TikTok. That's got the traditional The Star Wars Black Series tag. And then if you want to support the show, please join our Patreon. We would really, really appreciate it. We have people that win giveaways. We do some every now and then. You can watch us live. Like we still have people. It is 1 a.m. Eastern time. Literally right now, it is 1:01 a.m. Eastern time, and we still have people in here watching us live. So thank you very much. If you want to join us, you can join the $11.38 tier. That's like a Star Wars, reference. That's why we did that. So join us live, and then if you want to watch the YouTube video, that tier is $5, and we also have a $2 tier. If you just want to be a general supporter of the podcast. But if you can't support us financially, we still appreciate any review that you can do. Any like word of mouth, if you know people who collect Black Series, tell them about the podcast. Also, tag me on Instagram if you get a haul. That'd be great. Just spread the word about the podcast. We greatly appreciate it. Join our Facebook page. We talked about it earlier, but Black Series Cantina on Facebook. That's probably the best. We do the most show updates there, which is cool. And we have a lot of conversations, and those are always fun to have. We have merch if you want to buy merch. We have hoodies now, mugs. My favorite is this pint glass. Like, I absolutely love this. It's almost like this and the hoodie. I can't decide what I like more. But if you want to support the show that way, that's another way you can do so. Follow us on Twitter at TBS Cantina, and send us an email if you come across an article or anything, or just want to send us a nice message or something. Like, we'd really appreciate that. That's blackseriescantina@gmail.com. But I'm Zach. That's Mike. We'll be back in 2 weeks for your next episode of Black Series Cantina.
Yep. Bye. And then the awkward wait.